memo a sentence that said, WoW had original songs last year that had music videos by her editor, and the songs flopped. WoW then says, I'm in shock and disbelief that this is the narrative they decided I deserved. Saying that I harbored an invisible jealousy because my songs flopped made me feel sick to my stomach.
Yeah, the fact that your friend would even say like, LOL, your song flopped, bro. Your song didn't get those good views is so gross.
In late 2024, I was dealing with debilitating TMJ pain that resulted in me having to drain fluid from my jaw joint to open my mouth properly.
Bro, I forgot about that arc of WoW. Like, she's been through a lot of, like, what? This lady cannot catch a break.
They both knew this. I've always wanted my friends to succeed alongside me, and I don't know how they could say these things while simultaneously weaponizing my most vulnerable moments against me.
Jesus Christ, like, this woman was going through it and was able to release her own original song, and the only thing that you have to say behind closed doors is that your friend's song flopped.
I mean, at this point, no comment, right? Like, no comment. This is disgusting. For years, they were trying to backstab her as hard as they could. She had no idea. She thought they were friends. So this was her clearing up the whole idea that she stole their editor. She did nothing of the sort. But then there was the topic of her animator. So here she quotes the sentence that Redacted had told Nanolis, which is, we're 99% sure she told him, Sackramore, her animator, not to do any more with us, referring to the Boss Rush music videos. And these screenshots were in Nano's initial documents. Bao says, in these messages, Cinder and Redacted are referring to my animator, Sackramore, whom I have been working with since 2023. She proves this by showing DMs between them in 2023. Bao saying, hi, I'm going to bed, but give me a rates and turnaround time for a video like the Bao Experience one. Me and my editors loved it, and Sack said, yo, all good. And she continues. In 2024, Sack asked me if he could go completely exclusive for me and work for me in-house with no credit in order for him to be able to quietly work on his personal projects and brands without having VTubers asking for more commission work. I was happy to accept. I want to reiterate, this was Sack's decision and no one else's.
Yep, like this is again, you know what I mean? This is, we're blaming friends, and this is what Sack wanted.
And she says, here's proof of Sack mentioning his wishes to be my in-house animator directly to my channel manager June back in December 2024, refuting Redacted's claims that I locked him up due to Boss Rush's success.
She probably could have just talked to Bao about this directly like an adult, but you know.
These DMs between Sack and June, her channel editor, have Sack asking, yo, is it fine if going forward I don't be credited in video descriptions? To which June says, okay. Sack then says, thank you. I'd rather just be more an in-house type of thing for Bao after this blank thing is done. It's the last commission I ever do for anyone besides Bao, and want to make a name for myself through my own content, not really my work for others next year.
Yep. So a lot of times, editors will be asked long form, they'll stop wanting to be in the video's description because they'll get hounded by random people. And in this case, it makes sense because he also wants to be known for his own work. You know what I mean?
So again, Bao showed up with the proof, and she's showing us how delusional Redacted and Cinder were. Bao then ends this by asking, why aren't you solving this privately? And then replies, if you look at the timeline of events from Nano's documents, some of those messages date back years. I found out about this less than 48 hours ago, and they did not give me common courtesy of talking to me privately about this over those years. My thoughts, feelings, my most vulnerable, darkest moments that I shared in confidence with people I thought would be by my side years and years from now may have been used as information to ruin my chances to have the same mutual model as someone I thought was my friend, and I don't know how it can ever be the same after this.
Yeah, imagine you're in one of the hardest points of your life, and your friend smells blood in the water that you're freaking like limping, and they're like, man, what an opportunity to punch the bother down. Like, my God, that would damage your ability to trust people.
I would like to ask the community to refrain from spreading any harmful speculation. Everything shared in this document was done so with the express permission of those who shared it with me. I made this document with the intent to refute the claims made about me in the screenshots. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Yeah, what a roller coaster, right? I just feel very bad for everyone involved in this, of course, except Cinder and Redacted, because this is a horror story. Imagine opening up to someone, thinking they're your friend, always thinking about what's best for them and not coming in their way. And then it turns out that not just recently, for years, ever since you knew them, they've only had negative things to say about you privately. That is wild, and that of course will traumatize a person. It's crazy. The VTubers.
Yeah, just finding out overnight, when this doc comes out, that this has been happening for so long. You know, I think that's also why it's like these people that are like, oh, they're being overly harsh. I've seen that opinion a few times. It's like, no, this has been going on for years of a person's life with somebody that they held very close and trusted with like a lot of their personal things. Of course, it's going to be something that is very like, feels like an extremely, that you cannot just get over.
We're saying, compiled all the different collabs and things that both Bao and Cinder worked on to really show how much of a terrible person she was talking like this behind her back. The song used in the video is a song from Cinder, I'm pretty sure. Someone mute that just in case she wants to copyright me. Here you go, look at this. They collabed so many different times and met up on so many times too. Like, look at this tweet from Bao. Love you, Cinder. The fact that this is your first shot at anything musically is incredible, and I can't wait to see where you go from here. That's my girl.
God damn. Alright, I remember this. I remember a bunch of people on Twitter were like making fun of one of her song covers, and I thought it was the meanest ever. By the way, I still think it's mean. I still think it is mean. Don't use a dumb excuse of not liking someone to make fun of them for like their voice, because it's not okay. It doesn't set a good precedent for other people who just want to do creative things like song covers, you know. But I stood up for her. It was like one of the first times I ever saw Cinder on my timeline. That's why I'm mentioning it. And I was like, man, these people are assholes, making fun of this person who just wanted to do a creative project and sing, because somehow they don't like it or view it as cringe. I thought it, like, I publicly, my response is probably still on her video from like, what, 2 years ago or something? Being like, I can't believe you guys would make fun of something like this. And what's crazy is this was apparently happening back then. It was that long ago.
Like, this is insane. The people who were mentioned in Bao's document made sure to confirm publicly that what she was saying was true. Her channel manager June quote tweeted the document Bao posted and said, hello, I'm Bao's channel manager, and yes, I was there in the call with Kaiser, Bao, and Sack, and Bao encouraged Kaiser to take the race. It was definitely something she thought would be best for him. Bao supported any opportunity or anything that Kaiser would choose to go.
Yeah.
Sack, who was her animator.
So she's literally encouraging it. Like, yes, if you want to be exclusive with someone else, please do. I care about you as a person, doing what work you want and getting good compensation for it, even if it means not doing work for me. So she's literally doing the opposite. She's giving up an editor because she cares about his well-being and success, instead of trying to gatekeep him. It's crazy.
Also quote tweeted the document Bao posted and said, feel free to read if you want. Go show love and support to both Nano and Bao though, and linked a Google document that recounted his experiences in this entire situation. So Sack starts this document off with, this is going to be very unorganized, but I'll try and keep this brief since I don't really think that they, read specifically, deserve any more of my attention after hearing what they have said about me and also how working with them was. So he specifies again that he wanted to go anonymous and in-house, not because Bao forced him to, but because he wanted to. Wanted to focus on his own channel while not worrying about having to be commissioned by other people. Then he addresses what Redacted told Nanolis about him, where he says her editor met us at TwitchCon and was saying that he'd love to work with us, practically jumping through hoops to get something planned. Sack says, when me and Cinder initially discussed working on a music video project at TwitchCon, everything was fine and friendly. However, the part that is stated as practically jumped through hoops is, well, a bit of an overstatement to say the least, since they had asked me a significant amount of times trying to get me to work with them after I told them no multiple times, and they offered double pay.
Bro, so the person who was desperate to work with them was Redacted and Cinder, not him, like jumping at the bit, like, please hire me. You know, please hire me. I saw the numbers compared to Bao's video, please. I begged for a crumb of excellence for working with you again. Like, no, it was the opposite. They were begging, I said no. And they were so desperate, they offered me double pay, and that's the only reason I agreed.
So in this DM, you can see in September, Redacted reaching out to Sack asking, you wouldn't happen to be available for a music video in a week or two, would you? And Sack saying, no, I'm completely full every day this month, and earliest I could do is November 9th. Sack really tried to make it work, but couldn't find any slots in his schedule. Redacted would continue asking questions, how long does it take you to make a music video? What do you need? And even with Sack saying multiple times, I really can't, I'd love to, but I just can't. He says things like, okay, thanks though, Sack. You're missing out on a good one.
You son of a... Sorry. Okay, thanks. You're missing out though. Thank you so much. Let me just stick the dagger in. You know, when I shut the door, let me just throw that knife right into the jugular. Bye. No hard feelings.
Like, bro, he stated he wants to, but just can't. Redacted then keeps messaging Sack, talking to him about project specifics, asking how long things would take him, and saying when he's free. And then on the 12th of November 2024, Redacted messages Sack saying, "Are you available? Sorry for getting back to you so late." Sack says, "All good. I'm still 100% down to do it. I'll be able to start like the first or second week of December for like mid-December release. Is that okay?" And Redacted says, "We were hoping end of November release." To which
What is this response? What is this response? Like, that is so rude.
Sack says, "Oh yeah, that would be impossible for me." Sack then specifies, "Like I said, I'm still super down to do it and really hope to be able to work with Cinder on the video, but my schedule is always super packed / fully planned weeks and months ahead without much wiggle room. So just let me know what y'all would like to do or feeling." And then Redacted says, "What if we pay you double?" Sack then says, "Blank."
God damn, he's trying to pull it again. He's like, well, last time you went for double pay, so how about I do it again?
I'll cook, to which Redacted says, "You can send the invoice to blank whenever, we'll get it paid ASAP." Sack then continues in the document saying, "Also, I'm not sure what they're on about with Bao not knowing about me working with them since I asked Bao with Cinder and Red standing right next to me at TwitchCon if it was fine since I had agreed to do all the Halloween album but would probably miss one of the songs and she had no problems with it at all."
Yeah, so they talked about this in person, where she blatantly said she had no problem with it, so they're making up again.
So even though this would sacrifice the music video for one of Bao's songs in her album, she still said, "Yes, please go ahead." I mean, Cinder is her friend, as far as she knew, right?
Yeah, she's literally like, oh, it'll make it so like I don't get to have some things made for me. That's fine, because it's my friend succeeding, and I'm willing to take that loss for my friend.
Sack goes on to detail his work experience with Cinder and Redacted, saying, "Also, the stream was pushed back for the reason that the video wasn't done yet. Song was going up at 2 p.m. if I remember. However, this part really got under my skin due to the fact that it was just straight up not true, and if something goes wrong in the video production line, no matter who's at fault, the blame will always fall to the editor / animator pretty much every time. I'm still not sure why stream was pushed back. So it felt as if I was getting passive aggressively blamed publicly on stream in front of thousands for the lateness really upset me since the video was not late even under a very tight deadline where I did not even receive all the artwork until the 18th, the first full master until the 19th, and was then asked to also make a teaser version as well as an ad for the end of the video with our merch on the 21st, which I was not informed of at all prior to planning."
Jesus Christ. So he's taking heat while he's doing double crunch hours and not getting everything, up front and having to take out even more than what he signed up for, and he's taking the blame.
I also had skipped going home for Thanksgiving after having a family member pass to get this video done and rushed the hell out of it. The entire video was done from scratch in a little under 2 weeks since there were quite a few both visual and audio assets I did not have at the time that even remotely resembled what the final product would sound like. So I felt like this was an attack on my work ethic, which is something I take quite a lot of pride in.
Yep, because a big thing that artists get in trouble for is being unprofessional or not meeting deadlines, right? And this is not what he did. He still did meet the deadline he said he would.
I did not receive the merch assets until the 27th as well either. Even with revisions and all the extra trailers, the video was completed and delivered on time with enough time for YouTube to process the 4K version. There's probably more that I should clarify since I'm aware this is unbelievably poorly organized, but I'm very tired and don't feel like giving any more energy to these people. If there's anybody who has questions for me, just send me a DM. So this clears up more things that were happening behind the scenes between Sack and Cinder as well as Redacted, shows us that Bao was nothing more than an amazing friend, and also, even though Cinder and Redacted fought so hard to get Sack over, paying him double his rate, they were terrible clients who weren't prepared, didn't know what they wanted, and still managed to make Sack look bad in front of their audience, even though he missed Thanksgiving just to get the video done on time.
Yeah, so another thing that I'm seeing as a pattern is they really take advantage of people's goodwill multiple times. Like, this is another artist that they treated like crap and pushed to do things that they didn't want.
Overall, a terrible situation. With all these documents releasing, pressure was mounting very hard on Cinder, with people demanding answers. So many looked up to her and loved her content purely because of how warm and gentle and kind of a person she portrayed herself on streams. But now people were realizing this was nothing more than an illusion. Hours later, Cinder finally tweeted something, saying, "Effective immediately. Redacted will no longer be managing or overseeing my VTuber activities. He no longer represents me as a creator, my brand, or my intentions. I'm sorry."
Cool to hear. Yeah, but that doesn't really change anything, because you also are a piece of
Sorry everyone, I will make a larger response when I'm able. So I'm sure you would be surprised when I tell you that this response left a lot to be desired. But then another VTuber pointed out something very interesting. Their Peaches replied to that tweet and said, "I remember playing Phasmophobia with you and hearing Red chat away next to you before you first debuted like 4 years ago. You told me he was your boyfriend. Then before we met for TwitchCon, you switched up and said, 'Just so you know, my manager's coming with me on this trip,' as if I didn't know who he was."
Bro. Yeah, my guess is that she prioritized people based on what they are worth business-wise to her. So this Van Peaches person may not have been, in the business quota, and so she probably freaking forgot that she had let her know.
It's even ickier to read this tweet knowing he is your significant other and that you're probably going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as friends by nuking the red side of this duo. So as if look at
Her man, parentheses, Edger.
Guest, Redacted is her significant other. He's her boyfriend and he lives with her. She was fully aware of what he was doing and approved of it, and yet right now she was throwing him under the bus to try and save her career when everyone knows this is
Also, like, yes, it was his fault, but it was equally her fault. So, like, no, you can't throw all your sins and like, sacrifice him like it's cold to the lamb.
nothing more than a desperate attempt to save your skin without facing any responsibility. It was a very lackluster response to an apocalyptic expose on who she is behind the scenes. And speaking of who she was behind the scenes, someone else came out with a document by the name of Rain on a topic that no one could have ever expected, saying, "Fuck it, my experience with Tashi/Cinder, content warning, cheating?" Dude, this just keeps getting worse. Let's look at this document. So this goes back way before Cinder was even a thing. This is about Tashi, her
Okay, I'll be honest, I saw this in passing and thought it wasn't really important, but I guess it is because it points out, like, her character.
previous persona. Things were getting so spicy, my tongue isn't working anymore. The document starts off with, "Hello, thank you for taking the time to read this document. The events described."
God damn, we're just gonna need to get some water after this one. Second-hand hentai is crazy.
That happened about 4 to 5 years ago before the first Cinder debut. I understand there will be accusations of me clout chasing by revealing them. However, I wanted to corroborate Nanolis' assertion that she's not who she appears to be on the surface, and confirm that no matter how much damage control she does, she's just as responsible as Redacted. The first section is titled "The Beginning." Cinder and I met while she was still running her Tashi.mp3 YouTube channel, which is why all the following screenshots will show her as Tashi rather than Cinder, and that will come up late. At the time, she was only starting her account, and I already had my own ASMR RP channel with 8K subscribers, and as a bigger channel than her, she couldn't wait to work with someone as talented as me. This message dates back to May 2020, with Tashi saying, "You'll get there. It's still hard for me to believe that someone so talented likes my voice enough to want to work together." Rain continues and says, "We never ended up actually making any content together, but that didn't stop us from talking pretty much every day at the time, and eventually she found a new way to make it useful." The next section is titled, "Oh dear." Pretty much immediately, she was flirting with me despite, as you can see here, having a boyfriend, and both of us knowing she had a boyfriend, including regularly talking shit about him to me
It's for business, baby.
while telling me how great it would be if I were to replace him. What the hell? He continues, "I understand I'm no angel in this myself, but hey, at least I can be honest about it." Oh my god, anyway, here are the DMs. It starts off with Rain saying, "Besides, you said it's hard when your boyfriend is far, far away. I'm not your boyfriend, am I?" To which
No, but how nice would it be? You're perfect boyfriend material.
She says, "No, but how nice that would be. Your perfect boyfriend material."
Jesus, lady!
Okay. Rain then continues,
For some reason, this business endeavor is giving me a boner.
"Oh, so you want to go at it behind his back? How sneaky." And then she says, "Hi, honey. I've been talking to this guy about how badly I want him to fuck me. Since he wants to buy a flip flight."
Stop, I didn't know we were gonna get into the loot. I'm an adult. Hold on, I got this. Now, the number one question I have is, since both of them are so into business, is it possible, chat, there's an above 0% chance that Red could be writing some of these DMs? I'm not saying that happened. Like, he could be cheating, but it also is, like, if they're this close, they could have been, like, synchronized. I'm just saying.
Instead of giving me any attention when I'm needy. What? Right, that says, "Fucking oof, dude. Literally, why would you even need a flip flight when you have a girlfriend?" And then Tashi/Cinder replies with, "He sent me a screenshot a couple weeks ago telling me he was getting one and had the nerve to use it in front of me to show me how."
Never mind. I'm wrong. wrong. The tinfoil hat is off.
How great it was. Wow, yeah, it must be great. Rain then says, yo, what the f? That's like me inviting you to a chicken debate room so you can watch someone else in all the ways I said I want to f. To which she replies with, isn't that great? Rain then says, I'm very slowly.
Yeah, I'm with the guy, but I'm a victim of it because he how do I put this in a YouTube friendly way? He was putting his hand between the buns and the buns were mine and I just had to watch.
Not feeling as bad for him about all this, because it did honestly leave a bit of a bad taste in my mouth that all this was happening while you were taken. But then, yeah, that's a bit, Did you tell him that was fucked up and hurtful to you?
My favorite part of this, by the way, is the guy is making this nuts for this conversation. Did you guys notice that?
Then replies with, he asked me if I was okay with it, and after I explained how I felt, he told me it was too late to do anything about it because it shipped, and he kept it. Rain then says,
What? It was too late, my dear. I already got the buns and my hot dog fits perfectly in here. I already ordered it with Amazon Prime. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna need to use it.
Far be it for me to give you advice. It's your relationship, and the only ones who can decide what is and isn't okay is you two. But that just sounds really sketchy to me. And why did he ask if you were okay with it after he bought it? Well, all I'm gonna say on this is, two wrongs don't make a right. As much as I enjoy the second thing, it's really not right if you still want to be with him. I would either try to reconcile with him and get what you need.
Damn, look at this person deciding to be the bigger person and actually reject the gooning because you realize it's not. Nope, this is a bad idea.
For the relationship and step back from me a bit, or maybe consider taking a break. And I know that last part sounds fucked coming from me, but I swear on my life, I'm not being scummy about it. That's really my opinion. She then replies, I've just been really stressed about everything, and talking to you makes me feel so much better. I don't want to lose what we have, but I'm such an awful person, I don't deserve it anyway. Rain then says, I don't believe you're an awful person. I believe that you're stressed, you're emotional, and you're looking for something to make it better, which happened to be me when he wasn't helping. Listen, take a break from what we have just for a little.
You are so lucky to have someone, like you are literally home wrecking yourself, and this person is trying to give you the benefit of the doubt and put you back where you should be with the other person.
Little bit and see if you can get something out of him first. You can't really have both of us. Plus, it wouldn't be very fulfilling for me to just be the other guy in this scenario and not get the full relationship experience myself. You can do it.
Bro, he is so right. He is so right. You are scraps. If somebody is with someone going to you, you are someone's scraps.
But sweetie, I believe you can, truly. She then says, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'd do without you. To which she says, I'm not saying to stop talking to me completely. I'll still be right here to support you, whichever decision you end up making. And then she says, I love you so much. I don't know how to thank you. Bro,
he is basically like, yeah, no, you can't have me unless you're not with the first guy. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
So weird. This is so weird, man. Look, I'm convinced this is some weird, like, roleplay fantasy she has. She knew that Rain felt really weird about this, knowing that she had a boyfriend, so she was making up this story to make him feel less guilty about cheating. That's just my theory, right? But I just find her story so unbelievable.
No, I mean, okay, I will say this. Whether this is alleged or not, something that does kind of, pattern recognition, right? Pattern recognition. She's doing a bad thing, and then when he calls it out as being a bad thing, like, hey, this is cheating, aren't you already with someone? That's when she goes back and is like, oh, but I'm a victim because he doesn't treat me right. But she's not willing to actually give up, like, she's not willing to leave the guy. And so he's like, no, like, yeah, like, that sounds horrible, but I think you're being bent up in emotions, and yeah, no, it wouldn't be fair to me either if you do that. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
But it just can't be true. Rain then continues in the document saying, despite what was evidently nothing serious for her and just the means of keeping herself occupied, she felt the need to keep stringing me along with proclamations of real love, which again, I was silly to have believed in the first place.
Again, love bombing as well. Love bombing as well.
Oh, and it's a screenshot.
I love you so much, I don't know what I would do without you. Also the love bombing.
Of her saying, regardless, I'm always going to love you. He then continues in the document, for obvious reasons. I won't share any of the explicit sex thing, not just because of the NSFW nature of it, but also I just don't think it helps. However, note that all this went on for several months and included more than just text.
Thank you. I would need to probably bleach my eyes from secondary embarrassment, all right? Like, I could already tell this was going to be very cringe. I don't want to.
As both the date
Can't
and
handle
the following screenshots prove. This was in September of 2020, so months since the last DMs we saw, and it features Rain saying, I mean, it looked like something was going down there either way, and then Tasha replies with, it's called Fing, dear. Oh my god.
My brother
continues. One reason I felt it important to share these details in particular is because I never found out if Red got told about what happened, especially not in full lucidity. The primary reason I held on to
Wait, did she just send him like, is that why this is being mentioned?
For so long was an itching feeling that Redacted never fully knew, and I always felt like it would be unnecessary drama, so I left it alone. But now seems as good a time as any. Redacted, if you're reading this, I'm sorry for all that happened back then. I really am, but given the actions you two have taken together regarding other VTubers, I still think you're perfect for each other.
Whoa! Damn, shots fired, Jesus!
Regardless, the last section of this document is the end. After Cinder got done using me for fleeting sexual gratification, our conversation slowed down, exacerbated by the Cinder character coming to fruition and finding immediate success. I'd stopped making content for a decent length of time by then, and thus she no longer felt she could ladder climb from me. Here we can see this was a conversation mid-2021 with Tashi saying, hey, what was your exam for? I haven't been on this Discord account super often, so I missed a bit. And Rain said she made a new group chat without me. I kid, but yeah, they were the entrance exams for the uni college. Tashi said, nice, congrats on passing them. I've just been on the VTuber side of things working with commissions and whatnot. And then Rain said, what? And Cinder doesn't want to be my friend? Only Tashi does? To which she replied with, it's just easier not having multiple ongoing conversation.
What? Only one side of myself. I've got two wolves inside me. One that wants to be inside you, and one who's never met you. But they're piloted by the same person. What?
Rain continues in the document saying, until eventually she stopped using that account altogether and committed fully to Cinder, and I never heard from her again. Something I was uncannily aware would happen even back then. These are DMs from around the same time in 2021 with Rain saying, I'll message you at this time in 2022 and you won't even remember who I am, to which Tashi said, I'd never forget you. Rain then continues the document and says, and that's pretty much it. This isn't meant to be a witch hunt. We all make mistakes, including me, as I've shown in the same document, but it felt like a good time to get off my chest things that I've been on it for half a decade now and to finally get some closure, even though I know how bad I look alongside her. She's an opportunist whenever she can find a way to be, and she does not care what happens to the people she springboards off from. I can only hope she takes this as an opportunity to change and grow as a person.
I don't think she will, because this is years ago when you experienced this and you're showing a pattern. Which is why I think this could be, it might be hearsay, but it does check out with like similar behaviors, right?
I'm gonna throw this one in the end because it's kind of funny for me to see in retrospect. Okay, thanks for reading. And it's a message from Tashi in 2020 saying, don't forget about me when you become a big popular YouTuber. You know what? I didn't read this document until I started recording, and yeah, this caught me by surprise. Wow. I wish Rain had shown this a long time ago so people would have known, okay, this person's kind of weird. And maybe Bao and Nana wouldn't have been backstabbed so goddamn hard.
I don't know. I think that's like wishful thinking, but I think because Cinder had more people backing her, she might have been able at the time to say like this was a butthurt fan. Like I do feel like if he came out with it earlier, I don't know that people would have believed her. Cinder confirmed this in her apology. Wait, did she say this was all true?
But it does leave a bad taste in my mouth in regards to Rain as well. Releasing this information.
No, the dirty texts were real.
Now does seem opportunistic, because it seems like it's cool to hate on Cinder. In other words, he was backstabbing her the same exact way she was backstabbing others right now. But speaking of backstabbing, we're slowly but surely uncovering the other people that Cinder had backstabbed because documents kept coming out. Spite, another big independent VTuber, posted this on Twitter, quote tweeting Nanola saying my experience with Cinder and attaching a Google document of her own. This is when we uncover one of the two last missing pieces of the puzzle. There are two more VTubers that were backstabbed by Cinder that were censored in Nano's original document. So which one is Spite? Well, let's read the document. It starts off by saying, I want to start by saying please do not send any hate to anyone involved in this. I only wish to speak about my experiences and give more clarity on those experiences. First and foremost, my love and admiration goes out to Nanola for having the courage to bring this to light. Artists are the backbone of our community, and taking advantage of her goodwill personality is saddening to see. I want to take the time to address what has been brought to light involving myself and what I've experienced over the years that coincide with these events. In this screenshot, the VTuber that is being talked about is very clearly me. Since the beginning of my VTuber journey, it has been written in my backstory and lore that I'm the daughter of Cerberus, and to an unforeseen summoning mishap, the Greek goddess Hecate. As many may know, Cerberus is a species of hellhound, and I've always incorporated the number 3 in my designs to follow.
I'm sorry, is it pronounced Hecate? I've always pronounced it Hecate. Uh-oh.
3 heads of Cerberus in my early design, and when artists were still learning new model/reading techniques, I had opted for 2 other wolf heads on my shoulders as pauldrons to symbolically represent my 2 other heads. However, the repeated comments of, if you're a Cerberus, where are your other 2 heads, had pushed me to use the broader term hellhound at the time.
Makes sense.
To months to a year into my journey, and I started to receive harassment and berating comments and chat messages on Twitch and YouTube videos comparing me to Cinder and putting me down for being a hellhound.
Yeah, what sucks is that this
I buy and trade. Be careful. Step on up. Safe travels.
probably was actually orchestrated by Cinder herself and not just some people being nutty.
The definitive switch to the Cerberus label brought me a sense of relief because the last thing I wanted was to be constantly compared or harassed at this point. I didn't want to be associated with her due to all the negativity that was being thrown my way. Then she links one of the screenshots that were included in Nano's document in which Redacted claims that Spite unfollowed Cinder on Twitter, and this is what she has to say about it. As for the claims of unfollowing her and taking her ideas, I debuted my 2.0 Live 2D model May 14th, 2022, and on that same day she decided to post her debut announcement for her 1.0 Live 2D model. Leading up to this time, I didn't know who Cinder was at all. I had no idea she had fire in her ears or she was another hellhound. The creator space is broad, and I still stumble across creators larger than myself that I had not heard of before.
Yep. See, this is completely adorable. It's almost like, you could have similar motifs or ideas that are generically attributed to someone else.
Once stole her ideas, all I ever want is to try to be unique in my own way, so these claims that I was following her and then unfollowing and stealing her ideas are absolutely baseless and uncalled for.
I mean, I think you could guess this because of the fact that I've never thought I've never met a person that thinks that Spite looks like Cinder in any capacity, myself included.
This is a screenshot that shows that Spite was doing her 2.0 debut on May 3rd, 2022, and 11 days later, Cinder was barely revealing her first model. She had not even done her debut yet. Spite continues in the document saying her posting her debut announcement trailer the same day as my 2.0 debut seemed off, but I shrugged it off as a coincidence because things happen. However, this wasn't the last time something like this had happened.
Dang. And because she's petty that this was on purpose. You know what I mean? Like now knowing how she operates and pays attention to these little things.
Multiple times.
She absolutely released the debut announcement trailer on purpose to try to take away from her thunder.
I've done something, and either the same day or shortly after I was made aware or had discovered later that something similar had been posted, making me feel like I was being watched constantly. I tried my best to believe that it was coincidental and not ill intent on their part. There were many times where I designed a new outfit that I was really excited for, but afterwards Cinder would release outfits or models with similarities to it.
Bro, I'd be freaking out if this happened. And what do you say, right? Because you're the smaller VTuber. Like the paranoia where you're like, oh no, I'm probably just overthinking it, and then it just keeps happening.
I much of it at first because it is normal to have some similarities or shared inspirations with other creators. The VTuber community is a huge space, and similarities are normal. I'm not speaking to whether my designs were taken as direct references for hers. I'm addressing the need for the unprovoked tweets mentioned in the screenshots above and showing that I made the statements to make it clear that I was not stealing ideas. How can I copy something that was released /teased/revealed after my own?
Yeah, it just makes it harder because whoever the bigger person is with more clout is usually the one that has a bigger audience to push against you, even if you did not do anything wrong, right? Yeah, it's less likely people to believe you as a smaller creator.
Maui Live, my model Mama, and I worked on a comfy goth girl outfit. I had rips in my shirt, a G-string, shorts, and spiked wrist cuffs. 2 weeks after, Cinder debuted a similar outfit. I included the earliest image that I could find of Cinder with this outfit. I received many negative comments about my design from people assuming that I copied her when I debuted it 2 weeks before hers. I got called off-brand Cinder and just a bunch of horrible things.
See, this sucks. This sucks so bad. Because more people probably saw Cinder than that. The worst part about it, right, is that Cinder is like a cozy branded thing. So if you allege she's copying you, people are gonna think you're being a bully because she's, associated with being a kind person.
So these are DMs with her artist saying, sounds great, I'm so happy with it. On July 20th, 2022, showing that she was working on this outfit way before the tweet that Cinder made on September 14th, 2022, asking, what do you think of my new outfit that looks very similar? Spike then continues in her document saying, I discovered this merchandise that she used for Uwu Market and had to do a double take because of the gray blue skin tone used in the art. Several people thought it was me, and the similarities for this speak for themselves, I feel. So this is the design itself, and yeah, I mean, they do look very similar, not gonna lie. She continues on April 29th, 2024, I designed a Greek goddess outfit on screen. I am a Cerberus VTuber, so it fits my lore completely. I mentioned that I may or may not get a future Greek goddess outfit because it fits my brand. About 4 months ago, Cinder debuted a Heaven Okami inspired outfit. It was white and gold, resembling a Greek goddess. In the background for debut, she also included Greek columns. At this point, I felt like nothing I could come up with would be even slightly original to me. I'm aware that nothing's completely original, but I still wanted my own identity. So
yeah, this sucks. Because you can't even call it out, or you will probably go more, you will probably end up in worse and people dogpiling you and not believing you because you are the smaller entity. And because the person you're talking about is so well known for just being like a sweetheart in the scene that everyone likes, and the more popular one of the two. That sucks.
Here's the outfit that she drew on her stream, and then here is the debut stream with the new outfit that Cinder came up with. She then continues, on April 20th, 2024, I debuted a new model for my model Mama, RAVT. I got a hoodie with a cute design on top and I have side bangs covering my eyes. On April 4th, 2025, so a year later, Cinder debuted a sports hoodie with side bangs covering her eyes similar to mine. Is this a coincidence?
I don't know, but it would start to drive me nuts at some point. It's like, there's some things that are just coincidences, but how many coincidences do you have to have before there's a pattern? You know what I mean?
Or is it truly her trying to copy everything she's doing? I don't know, I'll let you decide. She then continues. There are some instances that I do not have screenshots of. For example, I remember posting about my first ASMR stream. The day that I was supposed to do said stream, Cinder plugged her ASMR channel. I thought it was
my god. This is obsessive behavior, dude. I can't keep track. I have to be reminded when it's my own birthday. How the f do you have the time? to be like so up someone else's ass with the times they do things, and like you've never spoken to them.
It's suspect. We'll brush it off. I don't have any screenshots of the comments and bullying that I received from her community. There were too many that it became too much to keep track of and just started
I'm really happy that Mugen literally only kept the assets while he's reading this. Calling out Mugen for this part. A man of culture, I see, Mugen.
them because I never wanted to take images of their words that hurt me. I didn't even want to read the harassing comments in the first place. I just wanted to be left alone and be happy in my own space. I received a DM on January 25th, 2023. I will not disclose who the sender was without their consent. The sender expressed to me that they were getting bullied by Cinder and certain members of Cinder's community because she too had fire in her ears. I never responded to the DM because I wanted to stay away from drama as much as possible. Here's what the DM said. Hey, you popped in my feed and can I just say I love your design? I had a rather odd question, I suppose. Have you had any messages from the VTuber Cinder regarding your design? It's basically out of nowhere, but I'm only asking because I had made an original character like a while back and I was accused by her and others of stealing her design because my dog girl had flames in the ears and her fans claimed that was exclusive to her design. It was this whole big ordeal on Twitter, so I wondered if anything similar had happened to you yet. I'd like to clarify. I myself, I'm not saying your design looks like hers. I was scrolling, sorry, totally awesome design. When I saw the flames near/in the ears, I had flashbacks and thought to myself, oh no. So I guess this is just my curiosity getting the best.
Oh my
of me.
God.
Spike continues in her document saying, I'm just very saddened and disappointed in the situation.
Bro, it also begs the question. It also begs the question, right? Like, how many other people has she done this to that are smaller entities that she just,
Suspicions about this, but I never wanted to be a part of drama, so I kept quiet. I've also seen what happens when a creator stands up for themselves and receives major backlash, even if they're in the right, so I've never vocalized my concerns. I've always
This is what I was saying. I've seen what happens when a creator stands up for themselves and receives major backlash, even if they're in the right. Yep.
Decide my own models. I've gotten inspiration from Cerberus with the chains and spikes, Disney's Hades, and because I call myself Goth Girlfriend, I was inspired by Sam and Ember from Danny Phantom, plus many other of our goth crushes that we've had growing up. I just focused on myself and my friends. Meanwhile, I had eyes on me the whole time. Knowing that I was being watched and talked poorly about really hurts, especially when they never attempted to interact with me. I did my best to go through and find what I could and get appropriate screenshots. It's crazy because I didn't know who Cinder was until she debuted her life too deep. I just wanted to exist peacefully as a VTuber and spend my time drama free. I woke up this morning in shock. It's terrifying and hurtful to know that someone could attempt to blacklist me when I've never even spoken to them. I hope going forward that no one else has to experience anything like this. Thank you guys for being supportive towards me. I love this community so much. Please go and give love and support to all those who have unfortunately been involved in the situation. Please support Nanolis, who was very brave enough to speak up, and the VTubers who were affected. Please support my first model mama, the wonderful Maui Live, and also my most recent model mama, the wholesome REVT. Thank you for taking the time to read this. So
yeah, like this is insane. Like it's always a similar behavior too, right? Behind closed doors, indirect, like intimidating people out of the situation, making it so like they can't exist. Like backstabbing repeatedly behind closed doors, and people won't speak out against it because they're smaller and she knows that.
As I said in the beginning of this document, this was one of the last two remaining pieces of the puzzle. Who was the Cerberus that they were so obsessed with? The VTuber they never even bothered interacting with, who had this design even before Cinder, and yet they were completely and utterly obsessed with her in such a weird and unhealthy way. Honestly, Spike should get a restraining order. Let's be real here. But here's the thing. What about the last missing piece of the puzzle? The one was called VTuber 1 in Nano's document. Well, this is one of the most screwed up cases of this entire incident, and we're about to find out why.
Just so you guys know, because of the whole Cinder situation, Spite now has been receiving a lot of love from what I've seen, which is, really nice considering the circumstances.
So, you no doubt remember the screenshot in which Redacted was trying to blacklist Val, Cotton, and a third VTuber from ever being able to commission Nano again. Well, we now know that this third VTuber is none other than Silverveil, yet another very big independent VTuber. Many hours after the initial statement from Nano, she quote tweeted Nano's tweet and said, "My statement on Cinder and Redacted, linking yet another Google Doc." It starts off with a section titled,
Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse.
Introduction. I shouldn't have to say this, but me putting out this statement is not a call for or an excuse for anyone to turn the situation into a witch hunt. My intention for making a statement is strictly to give myself closure from the events of the past years and clarify how I have been personally affected. I debated if I wanted to even say anything after being asked if I wanted my name in the original document censored, as the situation is much bigger than just my personal experience. However, after finding out how wide and extensive the transgressions were, I feel the need to give clarity to my situation and how I was personally affected.
Yeah, no, she should. The reason why her opinion matters here is because it is another creator that has not interacted with her really in any capacity that she still views competition from. If you thought it was a stretch that Cinder was feeling intimidated by Spite just having, a somewhat hellhound theme, this is like the same way of thinking, but even worse. Like, this is just like, she's another fox girl and intimidated, even though they've never spoke and they do completely different things.
I want to note, as others have, that though a majority of the messages are from Redacted, who is Cinder's manager, I find it impossible that he acted solely on his own intentions without Cinder's knowledge or consent, given the extent to which he has represented her publicly and professionally. The next section is titled Nano and VTuber 1, in which we see many messages that were already included in Nano's documents, where Redacted was trying to convince Nano to go exclusive and not work with specific VTubers. As you can see, this is the message where he says you don't work with WoW, Cotton, or Silver at all again, models or art. And then Nano says, is there any way to add a little bit more since Silver still asks for art every now and then? To which Redacted says, we could do it like when Silver asks for art, you tell her no, and then tell us to buy another art piece.
Bro, Silver just taking strays. This would be so creepy. Like, I put myself in Cinder's situation, you're just like minding your own business. Like, Silver decided like the industry life wasn't for her, right? And she's like, I just want to do like my own thing. I just, I want to be in my own corner peacefully. And like this happens, you're just getting talked about. And meanwhile, you've never talked to this person. It's like, what the f?
Like, so you still get a job from it. So
I would need therapy. If I was Silver, I would just need therapy. Okay, I can't imagine. Yeah, the Hogwarts stuff too. I would just be like, I cannot. It's like all she does is play games and mind her own business. And somehow you still have to get yoinked into it like this.
I wanted to blacklist Silver so hard that if Silver were to ask for any commissions, Redacted and Cinder were willing to pay money to Nano so that she doesn't take the job. We also get more clarity, right? The model that Redacted was talking about was Silver's model. The DMs between Nano and Cinder also revealed to us much more now that Silver's name has been uncensored. Here we can see Nano saying, just wanted to let you know, I still love working with you in Red, but I'll understand if things don't work out because of Silver. I just love my clients, that's all. That was in February 2025, barely 2 months ago. So this person that Cinder was saying I just get compared to her a lot even still today was Silver. And Silver had no idea this was happening behind her back. Silver then continues in her document saying, I am VTuber 1 of the screenshots provided by Nano in her document. I've been a friend and client of Nano for years, and seeing how she was manipulated and abused by Cinder and Red makes me livid. She's an absolute sweetheart and just wants her clients to be happy. It breaks my heart to see how she was treated like a tool and a resource to be used for growth rather than a talented living person and gaslit into somehow believing that how she was being treated was okay.
She's absolutely right. That's what I was saying. It's like she's demeaning the other talents while pretending she values Nano, but also she is using Nano as a resource and not like devaluing her as well.
I'm so proud of Nano for having the courage to come forward to the affected people with all of this and to let everyone know how they were being unknowingly sabotaged. I've spoken to her privately and want to be clear that I have no ill will or hard feelings towards Nano for her involvement in this. I urge people reading this to try and understand the emotional manipulation on display and empathize with her situation. There's a lot I could say about how disgusting I find their behavior towards other creators in general, but I want to focus on my personal experiences. The next section gets real, and it's titled Cinder and I, and this is where she goes into the very weird relationship she had with Cinder and really revealed the depth of the backstabbing. She starts off by saying, discovering that all this was going on behind the scenes has been gut-wrenching. I didn't know Cinder, we weren't friends, and we have barely talked.
This is so awkward. This is so awkward. A literal stranger is playing PvP with you, and you don't even know about it. Like, what the?
Even writing this, I do not understand what I could have possibly done to warrant the level of malice and cruelty shown. In our private interactions, I was as cordial as possible, but I just wasn't interested in associating with her professionally or being her friend. From the few uncomfortable interactions I did have with her, I had gotten the vibe that her primary goal was to climb the social and content ladder and grow her brand. I am fully aware how common that attitude is, and that's just how you grow in this sphere. But I personally don't have the emotional fortitude or bandwidth to have friendships for the express purpose of growth.
Yep. This is what burns a lot of people out of these spaces, is not caring to do this. Like, knowing that it is a thing, but knowing a lot of people are in it solely for the purpose of transactional relations with others. It is something that is known about, and it does happen, but not everybody wants to do that.
For the record, I think it's fine to have that view and approach to content creation, but I also reserve the right to simply not vibe with someone. I would much rather not associate with someone at all than pretend to be their friend for the purposes of growing my brand.
Yep. Like, I think there's plenty of times where you learn to be nice and cordial with people that maybe you don't get along with, because just being a normal human being, and also because you're in the same room, and sometimes you gotta learn to be an adult and suck it up and be around other people you might not like. But outside of that, okay, it's like, there's nothing wrong with understanding that some people have these relations, but that you don't really want to be a part of a lot of it, right? It's all about being honest as well, which is what Silver is saying, right? I don't have the fortitude to do that. I don't have an interest in it, is what she's saying, right? She respects and understands that other people do this, and she's not saying, she's trying to like grandstand on them and say like they're a worse person for doing this, but it's not for her and she has no interest in it. I feel like that is completely valid and a normal way to do things and expressing like what your motivations are.
The only time I had actually talked to her directly was during my meet and greet at TwitchCon 2023. I had just finished my meet and greet, and as I was wrapping up, she walked directly to the screen to meet me and had someone else take a picture of us together. I was not informed of this picture or asked permission for it, and only knew about it once I saw it on Twitter later on. And as you can see, this is a tweet from Cinder back in October 20th, 2023, with her saying, "Stop by to say hi after my meet, Wolf Girls." Really making it seem like her and Silver were friends and knew each other, when that wasn't the case at all.
Bro, that's so creepy. How do you do this? Why not just talk to her? You're at the meet and greet. Why not just take this time to be like, hey, I want to take a picture with you? I feel like so many other VTubers do this. Why did you have to sneak this in? Why couldn't you just be like, bro, I want to take a picture with you, put it on Twitter? Is that cool? Is that cool? Because I feel like very little normal VTubers would feel this was odd. But like, I can't name a single person who wouldn't like think it was totally fine if you're like, hey, I'm cosplaying my own VTuber. Can I just stand next to you on the screen and take a picture? But doing it this way, like, why'd you gotta make it weird?
Silver then continues, saying, after the meet and greet, she contacted my manager at Mythic to ask me to collab with her. I told them I would rather not collab, but accepted her friend request on Discord after turning her down. In private DMs, she reached out and asked me to do merch or another various forms of collab to be monetized, to which I again declined. I will always prioritize my mental health and peace over any potential profit that would make me feel used transactionally and put me out of my comfort zone. So these are the DMs with her Mythic manager saying, also, Cinder really loved meeting you and wanted to collab, so I told her I'd let you know, and I could throw you guys in a group chat if you were interested. To which Silvervale said, hello, I appreciate the sentiment, but I prefer to not do collabs. Her manager said, no worries, hope you're having a good weekend. To which she said, oh, thanks, I'm trying to, just busy on lots of IRL stuff coming up. Lol, sorry for not being interested in collabs, I just like to do my own thing, but I'm always open to messages. Lol, I hope you had fun at the con and everything went okay. I
feel like this is great, by the way. This is really good open communication. You're expressing friendliness, kindness. You're not trying to, be rude or say you don't like the person, but you're making it upfront. There's no guessing. You're like, I don't do collabs in general. It's not what I'm interested in.
Hey, so these are the brief DMs she had with Cinder. Silver starts off the conversation after accepting her friend request saying, hi. Cinder then replies with, hi Silver, sorry for getting back to you late. I've been super sick from TwitchCon. I guess a lot of us got sick after the last couple parties. I hope you had a good time at your meet and greet. It was nice to see you there. But yeah, no worries if you don't prefer to stream together. My manager suggested something more like sponsorships, merch, music, or some kind of other project together.
Hello? Did you listen to the words that she said?
Together that maybe Mythic could help with if needed. I'd love to chat more either way.
Bro, okay, still somehow you don't get the hint. And still, she is extremely professional and upfront about her expectations and what she wants.
Silver replied with, no worries, it's been super hectic and busy for everyone. Lol, I hope you're feeling better. I'm really flattered by the persistence, but I'm just not interested in transactional relationships with anyone. I hope you can understand.
This is like the politest way you could turn someone down in history. I cannot think of a kinder way to put someone down while also saying like, I appreciate you, I don't have any problem with you, it's very flattering, but no.
So then we go back to Redacted's DMs about Silver, and we realize just how unhinged both he and Cinder were, accusing Silver of copying Cinder with that spinning figure and saying things like, oh, we just want Silver to recognize Cinder because she's a big VTuber, and typing in all caps and the marketing potential and money they can make if they teamed up.
Yeah, it's clear that you have only transactional wishes of this person. You want to use them.
Adding, I feel like there's this unspoken competition between them, like they need to one-up each other because Silver can't get along. Bro, she literally said in the DMs she's just not interested in transactional relationships, and she was as nice as possible. I've already said this multiple times in this video, but man, this is so weird. Silver then continues in her document saying, I had a new live 2D models in the works for my birthday with Nano, which was eventually canceled. I was devastated, as Nano was the one who originally asked if she could do this model because she was excited to make it with all the new things she had learned, and my birthday was special. At the time, the reason given was health and stress reasons, which made sense given how much was on Nano's plate, and despite my disappointment, I expressed my support for her prioritizing her health. I am now aware that the actual reason for her declining to work with me on my birthday model was external pressure from Redacted and Cinder. Words cannot describe how heartbroken I was and am.
Imagine you miss out on something you're looking forward to because of someone you've never talked to, who you were nothing but nice to and said upfront that you're not interested in that sort of thing, and then later you find out you were backstabbed for it, for something on your birthday, because you politely said no.
She then attaches a screenshot with her and Nano in DMs, with Nano saying, Silver, I have to cancel the model commission. I'm sorry, my manager told me I have to cancel the most commissions possible for health reasons. I've been working too hard and it's getting into me. I really apologize for this inconvenience. Silver replies with, I was looking forward to it so much. I love your art so much and I've been so excited for a new model from you. I understand though. You have to prioritize your health and taking care of yourself. I hope your health improves and you feel better. Make sure to get lots of rest and relaxation. Do you know if you'll be able to do it next year at all? Don't feel pressured or anything, just ask it. Nano replies with, I'm sorry, it hurts me a lot too. I just wish I could work on everything I could, but I believe I can still go for your model sometime next year. Yeah. Silver then says, that's okay. I know you have a ton on your plate and can't imagine how stressful it must be. Do you think you can still do gamer subs tub art? And Nano says, oh yeah, illustrations are okay. And of course, they were only okay in the eyes of Redacted and Cinder, who were manipulating the hell out of her. And here Silver attaches two images that we already saw in Nano's document, and here we can see Redacted was saying, you didn't tell Silver you canceled because of Cinder, did you? What's even crazier here is that this message was completely uncensored too, in which Redacted said, well, let's see if Geary wants a Nano model or not, and hope Silver finds someone else. So this is yet another content creator that was added to this mess that we
Oh my god, I didn't even know Geary got randomly catching strays over here, what the heck?
Silver continues, I didn't think much of it at the time, but Cinder messaged me on Discord right before my model was canceled. She celebrated that we shared art, despite the fact that at the same time she and Redacted were actively working to take the potential for war away. Here you can see a private message from Cinder to Silver saying, hey Silver, I just got your gamer sub stuff in the mail and it looks amazing. It's so cute that we both have Nano's art on our merch and she's both our model mama.
Bro, the way that you act like you're so happy about it, but you're actually trying to make it so they can never have art from them again is crazy.
Unhinged psychopathic behavior, bro. Does this person even feel shame? At this point, I don't think so. Silver then ends this document with a section moving forward. Cinder and Redacted have spent years sabotaging me for no understandable reason. I have never done anything to warrant this other than just existing as Silvervale. They actively sought to get my models and art canceled, and based on the messages I have seen and shared above, seem to have not had any second thoughts about doing so. It's hard to express how crushing a feeling it is to be talked about so cruelly and maliciously without my knowing, and to know opportunities and friendships were taken away for what I can only assume is spite and insecurity. There is no end to the amount of anxiety I feel knowing that if these rumors were expressed to Nano, I have to assume they were expressed to others as well. I hope this document and the evidence presented will convince you that I'm not the person that Cinder and Redacted tried to convince people that I am. Thank you for taking the time to read this, and I hope that any and all the people who have been affected by this can get the closure and peace. peace that they deserve.
Yeah, this is
the
just
first time
nutty.
this
Like, she's got such a long paper trail of consistently, like, doing the same type of bad behavior that luckily in this instance, I don't think Silvervale's taking any stress.
I'm speechless. I'm just glad that Cinder focused on VTubing and not politics, otherwise she would have become
That's okay. It's business. I need 8, 16, 20. Core alloy. I need 3, I think. Let me just untrack that one because I have it done. Yeah, no, 2. I need 2. 2. I need null stone. So 2 of those. These are done. I can untrack these. This is done. This is done. I need 2 of these. I need storm. Actually, that one's one of my favorites, I think. 2 of these. Need 1 of these. I need an iron claw alloy 5. And I think I still need 8 sanctified alloys. Oops. 8. And I think that's everything. Like one of the few times I got it in one go. Untrack. Let's see if I got this right. That one's good. Raked in some more sanctified alloys, which would be nice. Nope. This one? Good. Sanctified? Nope, got nothing. One more, I think. Nope, that's it. How much do I get left over? 1 alloy. Wow. Oh, there's the personal crafting order finally came in. Show me the money. Oh, it's a recraft. Show me the money. Ah, I saved some. Okay. Oh, I got some.
dictator or something.
Oh, Jesus.
This happened because Silvervale had boundaries. This happened because Cinder would not take no for an answer. This happened because she's an unhinged psychopath. With all these different documents and everyone understanding the real nature of who Cinder was, her career was effectively burning to cinders. Sorry about that. People were very patiently waiting for a more complete statement. So after losing over 10,000 followers and waiting more than 24 hours, she finally just published it 6 minutes ago.
I knew it wasn't gonna be good, guys, but I was curious what she was gonna say. I was curious what she was gonna say. And I also noted that out of everybody who responded, Lily had not responded. I said this ahead of time. I said, when Shy Lily says something, I said that ahead of time because Lily never speaks about anything. And whenever she does choose to speak about something, she's extremely well-spoken. Yeah, Kitsu's like, yeah, Rosie did say that. I told you. I told so many people, I was like, she is absolutely going to get obliterated. when Shy Lily speaks, and I'm like, Lily will not say anything until all facts on the table. That is why she is somebody who does not get into drama behavior.
My apology. Let's see if this can actually save her career. Cinder starts off by saying, there's nothing I can say to make this better, but I will try my best to properly convey my feelings, frustrations, and mistakes. I'd like to explain my point of view and apologize to each party affected. Redacted has been my co-content creator since I began making content, managing all aspects of what I do, and being a major part of why I'm here. We have also been in a relationship since the start of my endeavors. It's no secret that many YouTubers choose to keep their public and personal lives separate, and I'm no different. As of yesterday, he is no longer working with me, and I have not extensively discussed any of this with him. Where our personal situation goes from here will be figured out between us privately. I never intended to mention this publicly, but given that the claims are out there, I want everyone to know I'm taking this seriously. After years of working on everything together, his hyper-business-oriented outlook warps my view of what it is I should be doing, and what should be important to me as I navigate this career path.
Nah, you haven't learned a goddamn thing. You are sorry that you got caught for it.
I have a terrible work-life balance as it is, and being around projects and streams all day every day made me lose sight of the point. It took all of this happening for me to realize this behavior isn't normal or healthy, and it's not an outlook I want to have.
No, it took you getting caught because you've done this for years, repeatedly.
This doesn't absolve me of the things I've willingly done wrong and went along with, or the way I've treated people who were fully undeserving. Guys, right off the bat, it's not looking good, okay? This is not going to change much if the rest of the apology is looking like this. But anyway, she continues. In regards to Nanolist, for the majority of the time working with her, Red was the one almost solely doing the communication about new plans and negotiations through his private DMs. Nano had a project server we were all a part of where the actual art and models were worked on, but the conversations were focused around the work itself. I was not fully aware of the extent of Red's manipulation over Nano's commission decisions, and I
Yes, you were. Yes, you were. You stop. Even if we got rid of everything that Red said and it only had stuff that you said the exact same things. What about the things that you literally said? You are to blame with your, even if you took out Red's, all of his DMs, you are still to blame for all of this behavior. Like, what do you mean? You said it's out of your own mouth.
Diligent in my oversight. Every time.
What happened? Did he possess you as a being? Stop.
I've been told that Nano had agreed to work on a new commission with me. It had been willingly and with excitement. From my point of view, it was that she genuinely wanted to be working on these things. I wanted to work with Nano as much as I possibly could, making her art the face of my brand.
Maybe you could believe this, by the way, if it was for a really short amount of time. Like you were new to the V2 week sphere, and you had a manager that knew a lot more than you or something, and like for a month or two or something, you believed in what he was saying and realized it was wrong. This is 4 years or more, right? This is a long time, and you would have kept doing it. This is years. Like, if this was even true, you would still be to blame.
In my best interest to talk with Nano about making more time for my project by negotiating with her to cut out other work. This was wrong for us to push onto her, and it was wrong to the other creators who wanted the chance of working with. There was only one specific creator we were responsible for naming and pressuring Nano into reconsidering project with, not an entire list. Of her own volition, Nano canceled a large portion of her model commissions last September. However, the claim that I was just using her is wrong. Wait, no, this is completely undermining what actually happened. Redacted pressured Nano to not work with WoW, Cotton, Silver, and there was even mention of Geary in there. And let's not forget that more recently, Shy Lily was included in there too. So for Cinder to say Nano canceled these of her own volition is wild.
Bro, the fact that she blames Nano, she blames her boyfriend, and just in case that isn't enough, just adds a stray bullet and shoots it over to Nano.
Seeing that they manipulated her into doing so. Anyway, she continues. I've always treated Nano with respect, and as my friend,
No, you haven't. We literally saw the DMs, brother.
Give her a lot of work, and we did everything we could to accommodate her schedule if she needed more time or a break, and even helped her with her own project payments multiple times. I've invited her on my stream, I've sent her my merch and things she's made for me, and I was always open to talking to her about things outside of our
Bro, thank you so much for sending her merch. You're such a good person. You're such a good person. How generous of you to give her some of your own merch. God damn.
projects. In the instances we would message each other regarding the exclusivity deal made between them.
I said, well, like, what are you gonna do? Send her a fart in the mail in a jar to her specific? I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say is that's so narcissistic to be like, I gave her merch of myself because I'm generous and I'm good to her. Like, what the heck?
I had no part in the direct negotiations of their eventual agreement, and I had no knowledge of WoW and Cotton being included in this list. If I had known my friends were included, I would have said something to put a stop to it. I was only aware of it being about one person who I was unfairly pursuing. When Nano had messaged me about this agreement almost a month later, I was under the impression this was only about Silvervet. I was upset, and my initial messages to her were very guilt-trippy, but I wasn't going to force Nano to do anything she wasn't okay with and try to
My initial messages were very guilt-trippy. However, how do you do that? You know, my initial messages, they were guilt-trippy, but I have stopped taking you seriously after this point.
reassuring her that I was okay with her decision. Nano had also never come to me
I wasn't gonna force her, I was just gonna guilt-trip her, so it's fine. Rest assured, I was only going to make her feel like shit, but it was her decision.
seriously officially as her document was looking to address the issue she had with either of us or to terminate our partnership. I had no idea there was even a conversation about Shy Lily recently between Red and Nano until reading her documents. It's true, I confided in Red that lately I hadn't been hearing from Lily like I had in the past and was worried
That's crazy. No, this is a lie. Just like everything else.
something was wrong, but that's as far as it went, and he took it upon himself to try digging for more info. And I was never even aware Nano was ever planning to work on a model for another one of my friends, Geary. I do not condone anything about what Red said about WoW in these DMs either, and him using we and our in this context is abhorrently incorrect, and I believe
It's abhorrently incorrect. Yeah, because you are shown in various cases to be somebody who's only truthful, right? Including the part where you said, I was guilt-trippy, but I wasn't going to force her to do anything. Like, that's a contradiction in itself. Like, you are lying to yourself. Like, you've gaslit yourself in this instance. Like, what the fuck?
was done to gain greater credibility behind what he was saying. Yes, Red and I were initially upset when WoW hired my editor.
Bro literally said, in the room. But it wasn't going to smell like poop. Like, I don't understand.
And I took it personally when I shouldn't have. I felt as if maybe my content wasn't good enough or like I wasn't paying enough for his work. But I accepted it and was happy for him for getting that bag and supporting one of my friends at the same time. I don't know. At this point, these things are very hard to believe. If she confided in Red how pissed she was, she's admitting that yes, she was pissed. And
Yes.
she confided in Red. Red then used this information to add them to the blacklist. But regardless, those feelings are not things you're meant to feel towards friends. Anyway, she continues and she says,
Yeah, it doesn't really make you look like, even if you believed everything she said in here, she's like, it still doesn't absolve what she's saying here. Like, you're still a bad person for this.
yes, I was also upset when Sack, the Boss Rush music video editor, had told us that he won't be working on any future project with us and would instead be working exclusively for WoW. But Red got it in his head that it was WoW's fault that it happened and seemingly held a grudge against her for it. He was very passionate about Boss Rush and the potential future projects around it, but he told me about a music video editor as down to the Sack. The future projects wouldn't reach the same heights, so he created this headcanon that's laid out in those DMs. I wasn't convinced this was the case, but it's my fault for never speaking with WoW about these things directly to clear things up and letting it spiral to the point it got to. Every comment here about her own music.
If you really felt it was your fault, you wouldn't preface every line with the fact that Red did it. If you really thought it was your fault, you would actually take the blame and not make an excuse right before it. You would just say, I fucked up. There is no point in time where you just blatantly say, I messed up. I let my judgment get clouded. I've become a bad person. I don't know if anyone's ever gonna forgive me for this, but I'm gonna take this opportunity to try to become a better person and take the blame. But she never takes the blame. It's always, well, but, because. It's always like a reason she's doing it, an excuse, or throwing Red under the bus. She never just says you don't have on any of this.
Guilt tripping and claims about our shared feelings towards her artist.
That's a lot of words without you taking blame once for any of it.
Disgusting. And I honestly don't know why you thought this way about my close friend beyond the resentment over those two things or why it was worth sabotaging her over. Like again, if you had the time to confide how pissed you were about this to Red, you could have messaged WoW to clear things up.
Yep. This is a really valid point that Mugen is talking about. You're talking about real emotions that you're expressing to someone. And even if this is true, you're not making the right decisions in the situation.
We had had no idea what Red did, it's still kind of a problem that you didn't want to clear this up in one DM. She goes on to say, the it's just business screenshot of my DMs with Nano's document was from November of 2023. And I'll go into my thought process of everything I said.
God, she needs to learn what a paragraph is also, Jesus Christ. It doesn't need to be MLA or like whatever the other format is, okay? At least tab at the beginning of each paragraph, brother. Please, please. The run-on sentences.
Here, what Red was trying to explain to Nano is that if everyone has a model by her, then the innate value of her models overall are diminished by there being an oversaturation of that type of model out there. If everyone in the world had a VTuber model done by her, then the value of having her model would be the same as if there were only a handful of them, which she viewed as a negative for me. I understand where he was coming from with this, but in the VTuber space, this isn't something we should have pursued. So
I understand where he was coming from with this. I understand where he's coming from with this, but... No, stop right there. Stop. That's all I needed to know.
was never upset seeing new model siblings. In many cases,
Yeah, I'm never upset seeing new model siblings, but you know, what he's saying is so true.
was there cheering them on at their debuts and looking to collab with them as sisters when I...
Yeah, you were cheering them on at their debuts, and you didn't need to for the ones that you made impossible. You were cheering them on at their debuts and then making sure the rug was pulled under them so they didn't have any more.
Good. Oh, you mean how you met up with Silver at TwitchCon, cheered that you guys are both wolf sisters, and then stabbed her in the back? Yeah, that
Yeah, actually when the cheering on happens, it's like really dangerous, right? It's like, oh no, she's reaching out to me saying how happy she is to meet me. It's like an omen, like everything's gonna be right after she's cheering for you in most of these circumstances.
She continues and says, me saying it's just business was referring to my acceptance of Nano's business decisions, whether she chose to work with me or not. This was not in reference to anyone's model being cancelled. Further explaining to her that it's okay if she chooses not to work with me. I can understand where the next part can sound manipulative, but my intention was to reminisce.
I can understand how the next part can sound manipulative, but it sounds manipulative because it is manipulative. Hello?
The journey we had together up to this point, since at this time I wasn't sure if this is where Nano and I would stop working together as frequently as we had been, and I'd have to look for a new model artist. I then encouraged her to work on projects she's excited about while I talked with Red to find a project that would...
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You implied she didn't want to work with you on some projects. The way you phrased this was like, yeah, tell me what projects you want to be a part of mine then. Yeah, you just let me know what projects you want to be a part of, insinuating that because she was not okay with the, with only doing art exclusive with you, that she somehow was implying that she didn't want to do all of the projects she normally does with you.
work with her schedule. That's definitely looking at things with the perspective of best case scenario. Like, I want to believe that's the case, but with how Red was talking, it just makes it...
I can't believe any of the cases because she hasn't taken blame for any of it.
Very hard to believe. She continues. When talking about Silvervale, I need to start at the beginning. Before I was Cinder, I was a pink cherry blossom girl named Tashi that did ASMR content. When the VTuber boom happened in 2020, I knew I wanted to join in. Red and I contacted an artist in October, and they were set to start my VTuber design by December. The plan was to take my cherry blossom persona Tashi and make her a pink and white wolf girl VTuber.
Okay, why is all of this in here? Nobody gets... Sorry. I'm being a little bit harsh here. This is a whole lot of word jumble that has nothing to do with any of the allegations or apologizing.
In November of that same year, Silvervale revealed her Sakura wolf redesign. I had heard of Silvervale earlier that year, but I didn't watch her streams at all.
Oh, so it's worse. I'm connecting the dots now. So she's jealous of Silvervale ahead of time, before she even debuts, because she has similarities to what Cinder wants to look like with her character in ASMR.
We knew we had to pivot before we were stuck with a design that would just be a copy of one of the most popular VTubers at the time. Like I've explained many times on my stream, I knew I wanted to be a wolf girl, so I mixed my love of Okami and metal music into the design and came out with a Hellhound. My name was originally going to be Ember, but Red came up with the name Cinder since it was a mix of Sin and Cinder, both hell and fire themed. It was only a coincidence that it ended up being similar to Silver. I was genuinely interested in pursuing a friendship with her and drew fan art myself of us together. See, that would be considered wholesome, but then teeters...
Yeah, but it's just kind of weird that like preemptively you want to be friends with somebody. I don't know, this is just me. If you don't know someone, you can admire them, right? Or even think it might be cool to be friends with them, but also it's like super important to know that like these people are strangers to you. You don't know who they are, right? I feel like admiration is fine, but like, I don't know.
On the borderline of being a stalker, when we know how hard she tried to be friends with her and then ended up backstabbing her. She continues. On the other hand, Red was in my ear the whole time saying how great working together would be, since again, he's been the business-oriented side of my brand. Since I started streaming...
I'm so sorry, chat's just like me for real. Woman, please learn how to freaking break up your paragraphs! For the love of run-on sentences, my brother in Christ!
I've been ruthlessly compared to her, being called the discount version of her. I was accused of copying her design, copying her personality, and even copying her laugh of all things. And there was a large number of people who were diehard believers in the fact that I stole all of these attributes maliciously from my own gain, citing the art I posted of us together, calling her an inspiration. When in reality, this was referring to the decision to become a Hellhound. The only time Silvervale was mentioned in the original design of my character was when we explained why...
Dang, that sucks that you were getting compared like that. That must have been really painful. So why did you do the exact same thing to Spite? How did you not put together that it'd be so shit if you did the exact same thing to someone else?
Pivoting to something else, and there were no references of her character involved. I grew more and more resentful of Silver over time between the constant belittling of myself, the controversy around my first waifu cup and other incidents, even though she herself never interacted with me directly. And it was also that fact that made me...
Damn, so you found a lot of inspiration to give her and Spite that exact type of hate you had. It spread the misery around, I guess.
Sure, like I wanted to know if she believed all these things or not. It really felt as if she didn't like that I even existed in the same space. So at the point I was working with Nano consistently, we brought up not making any more models for her. If a VTuber model is how everyone recognizes you, then it'd be hard to compare us directly if we no longer look alike or have that shared similarity. It was a wrong and selfish decision, but it made me feel better, and that's why it was a constant topic with Nano. Red pushed for this harder than I ever did because he knew how it affected me for years, but no matter what the outcome was, I wasn't going to walk away from working with Nano. Silver was completely undeserving of this treatment, and it was my own insecurities that led me to making this choice. I became unapologetically evil towards her due to no direct action of her own. There's no excuse for any of it.
Alright, this one part, I say that she kind of got it. This is the one part of the apology where like, yes, you were malicious and you were jealous and it was not Silver's fault.
It's interesting, right? Because that's exactly how she made Spite feel. And even though that was the case, she never went out publicly to say, hey guys, stop harassing her. This idea of a VTuber copying another has been a problem in the VTuber sphere for a long time, and that's the key.
Yeah, by the way, when you're a new VTuber, I feel like this is like inevitable to happen in some capacity. People are dumb. And even people who aren't like looking to hurt your feelings or anything like that, a lot of people connect things that they already like to other people because it's like a way that they view someone positively, right? That's why whenever you play a video game you like and you look it up, it's like a lot of times it'll be like games like this game, right? Because people want more of that content, even if it's from somebody else. So like for example, when Iron Mouse came out with her cozy model, repeatedly people are like, oh, are you inspired by Iron Mouse? Her outfit looks like yours. I'm like, bro, I've been out for like 2 years now. She just debuted that like the other day. So like it just happens. So like some of it like that just being like association of the brain. Like people don't do this maliciously, but it happens no matter what.
Unity's fault. But I personally don't like how often Cinder is throwing Red under the bus. Even here saying Red pushed for this harder than I ever did. Yeah, so what? You were aware of this and you were pushing it in DMs with Nano too, so it doesn't matter whether you
take blame without mentioning Red being worse than you challenge impossible.
Or not. Like I wonder, we're not even halfway through. Is she still gonna push this narrative that Red was doing the majority of this and I was on the sidelines, but I'm still sorry. It's like no, no. You were very much aware. She continues. Moving on from Silvervale, let me talk about Spite. Once again, I had no involvement or knowledge of Red bringing up Spite to Nano in 2023. My only personal involvement with excluding someone specific from working with Nano was Silver. My design sheet and outfit were finished and made public at the very start of 2021. The first thing she mentions is a debut teaser in 2022 that was apparently posted on the same day as her original debut, which I honestly don't know if at the time this was intentional or not. I don't know when I first discovered Spite, and it could have been after she debuted. When I first debuted, I was very possessive of my design details. I had made it a year and a half since my design sheet was finished and public to having a full VTuber debut as I watched everything grow and change from the sidelines, and I didn't want anyone else to capitalize on my concept before I could. Soon after my...
Bro, how... You didn't want anyone else to capitalize on your concept before you could. But other people never even saw your concept, so you had problems.
Original debut, I remember Spike getting an update to her model that made it seem like she more closely resembled me, including fire added to her model. Without evidence, I saw it and thought she must have copied me, but I never did anything about it other than...
Yes, because you are crazy for thinking that having fire in your ears somehow means she is copying you. Like, how do you not read your own words and be like, you know what, I feel like I'm kind of batshit.
my frustrations to Red. I didn't want to start drama with anyone, and I didn't have ownership over Fire as a design detail. The references for the ripped shirt and shorts outfit on my bikini model was given to Nano in June of 2022 with the purpose of having a cover-up outfit that would be safe for Twitch. The merch art she's referring to was designed around my concept of Fire changing blue. The fact that the rest of the art was grayscale was the artist's choice since it was going onto the back of the hoodie and I didn't have a say, or at least I didn't counter that being the final decision. There was no intention to deliberately look like Spike with this piece. Unfortunately, both my Angel and Sleepy outfits being similar to outfits Spike has done in the past was just a coincidence.
Yeah, well, so, you know, likely story. Then why do you never give anybody else the benefit of the doubt? You really want people to give you the benefit of the doubt that it just happened as coincidence. But nobody else is allowed to have a coincidence. Everybody else who does something is directly correlated to you, and they have to silently pay for it.
I always planned to one day make an Angel counterpart to my Demon outfit when it was being made in 2023, and my original ref sheet laid the groundwork for that idea. I've never liked theming anything around my brand in a religious light, so I chose to make my Angel form more Greek Valkyrie than biblical, which also gives it a similar look to my Demon form. The Sleepy outfit was a last-minute decision to pivot from a fully new 3.0 model because I had the opportunity to work with gamer subs on an AFK flavor. Spike never
Pause that for a second. What am I doing now? Do that. It's the only real thing I could really actively work on. Let me just quickly look. Oh yeah, you can buy those off the AH. Actually, some people are getting those, even that one. Some people have them. That's gonna be the gross one. Yeah, I guess the only thing you really work on is the nightfall and stuff.
received the hate comments over her outfit or any comments comparing us or belittling her because of my existence, and I never advocated for anyone to do so, especially given my experience. In regards to Spike,
bro, you literally talk shit about her though. What about that part? This is a whole lot. This is a whole lot of background to try to defend the fact that you didn't copy off of her, which is not even the point. The point is that you attacked her as competition copying you, and so all of a sudden now, you know, Spike has to come out and say, look, I came up with these ideas first. All right, that's how people are like, wow, thank you. I'm so relieved to find out you didn't copy off of her. It's like, no, this is way far from the entire point. You are so protecting yourself right now. Like, this is so weird. You're getting the wrong... Oh my god. You're still lost in the sauce, brother.
I'll let you decide. Was it a coincidence that so many outfits matched each other? And is it a coincidence that every time Cinder complained about anything to Red, he would make it personal? Anyway, she continues. Spike also brought up...
Yeah, maybe people would have given you the benefit of the doubt, and maybe she gave you the benefit of the doubt, even though you were being crazy, and even had, like, all of the time she debuted something. You tried to be on the same date. What about that? You didn't go after that. You didn't talk about the dates lining up perfectly. You know what I mean? You didn't talk about the fact that you directly said that.
The creator reached out to her about their experience with me, and I can only assume it's Ninetales.
What I'm trying to say is, even if this was true and it was all coincidence, it doesn't absolve what she said or did towards Spike anyway. So it still doesn't absolve everything.
ASMR artist who at one point posted a Hellhound original character for one of their upcoming ASMR videos and was undoubtedly created using me as a reference. This was right after my debut, and like I said, I was very protective of my design elements being...
What do you mean it's undoubtedly using you as a reference? Did you know somebody created Hellhounds and their entire concept before you? What if she didn't even know who you were? Would that eviscerate you? That people might make Hellhound characters and not even know they exist? Like, maybe you are not the main character in everyone's mind?
Unique to me,
Like,
how I reacted. Shortly after, I apologized, and they agreed to adjust the character design, and I thought the matter was settled. At the very start of my online career, I was a girlfriend experienced ASMR artist. Before I started my channel, I had gotten into listening to roleplay audios myself. I had always been a shut-in throughout high school and college, and I wasn't happy with where my life and relationship were at the time. After uploading my first few audios, my channel started going fast. This was the first time I was inundated with so many people.
I'm just trying to figure out who asked about this part. This whole part is nothing. You're talking a lot about yourself and your own lore, and it has no relevancy to what you need to apologize for.
Wanting to know me and talk to me, and I got lost in the excitement of it all, not fully coming to terms with these messages being because of the kind of content I was making. I was immature.
Oh, so understandable. So because you had such a hard time for being a shut-in through high school and college, it's completely understandable how you were backstabbing multiple people in the back for over 4 years. Like, no, what the hell?
Inexperienced with how to conduct myself online. I've never had many IRL friends and have met
Here, let me give you a tip. Don't backstab people behind closed doors. For somebody so inexperienced, you really are like the amount of studying and being so far up people's butts for what they were doing, or even having a similar motif to you. Like, this is crazy to act like you just didn't know how to conduct yourself. Like, you are doing more work to spy on other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much of a free time going into stalking other people.
Doing ASMR, I quickly became comfortable chatting with them about everything, divulging my grievances about my personal life when I shouldn't have. I cheated on my boyfriend with Rain in these conversations, flirting and sleeping. I used Rain for
I really thought the rain stuff might have been a stretch and not real. Like, woo.
emotional comfort and sexual fantasy while I let my real life relationship collapse. It was about my dissatisfaction with my personal life and escaping into messages with someone else who I found through content focused.
I'm sorry, I just can't relate to this thought. I'm sorry. I can't imagine. I can't imagine sexting. I just can't. I can't imagine being like, I'm in a vulnerable state of mind. I just need to goon. I just need long distance gooning. Ugh.
So on girlfriend, boyfriend, RP. It was never about climbing the ladder with Rain, and I find that being his takeaway from why I moved on baffling. By the time I was ready to debut a Simper,
Bro, I'm so sorry.
Still to this day, I
Would it have been better? I'm so sorry. So was the takeaway that it wasn't about climbing the ladder of popularity? It was simply about using him for sexual gratification? Because that's so much better. Thanks for clarifying. Yeah, he was just the one night stand that you needed occasionally to take advantage of, you know?
The decisions that I've been living with.
Yeah, he was just your coochie crush. Stop.
And I was lucky to be able to mend my relationship after this. So she confirmed she cheated, and Red was fully aware, at least as far as we know. Yeah, maybe Rain did have the wrong conclusion here. Maybe she actually moved on because she wanted to leave this part of her life behind. Sure, but did she cheat? Yeah. She then continues and says,
what I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter why she left or didn't leave. She 100% exploited this person. Well, you know what reasons it was for can be debated. But we know it was at least for one, and it was gooning.
And lastly, I want to address Peaches. This is a very big problem I have, and I'm sure many others in my position do too. At the end of the day, I'm one person. I'm one person working on multiple projects with multiple companies, talking to dozens of people, and streaming for hours almost.
Damn, welcome to the club. Am I like an angel in the space chat? I'm not like other people. I too work multiple projects. I talk to lots of people. I stream for hours almost every day. And okay, unlike everybody else, I'm unique and I'm not a piece of shit and I don't have enough energy. Like, how do you have the energy? Like, what's baffling to me is how you still have the energy to like keep up with all of these people secretly and keep backstabbing them. Like,
every day. I've never had a big social battery, and I get tired very easily when interacting with people. I haven't had much energy at all over the past year, leading to me taking frequent naps. I've rarely been able to keep up with my closest handful of friends on a frequent basis, let alone everyone else. Red has
yeah, you're keeping up being behind them on everything and knowing exactly what they're doing at all times, including people you've never spoken to, though.
Always been a big help in keeping up with things, but he doesn't do everything. I'm so sorry I made you feel forgotten, Peaches. I've always cherished your friendship, and I was so incredibly excited to meet you in pairs. I'm so grateful for everything you've done for me, and I never thought to purposely drop you just because I could. I'm sorry, I know I've made a lot of people feel forgotten or ignored. It's so easy to get caught up in projects or what I'm doing while I have the energy to do it that people fall by the wayside. I understand the feelings of those who resent me over this, and all I can say is I'm sorry. I don't deserve to be able to contact everyone involved directly to personally apologize, so I'll do it here in the chance they read it. So before we get into the individual apologies,
Bro, I love the whole, I don't deserve to apologize to you. I'm kind of glad you didn't because it was a lack of apology. All right, maybe try to reach out to them directly once you take some accountability.
To clarify, Peaches means Van Peaches. This is the same VTuber who called her out for having a boyfriend and trying to hide it from her, as if they didn't know each other. Now let's get into the individual apologies, starting with
It's clear that she lost relevance and any type of gain that she could step on business-wise, and that's why she stopped talking to her. That's just my opinion.
Nano, I'm sorry I let things get to this point or even entertain the thought of you working exclusively with me. That's not fair to you. I wouldn't be here without you, and I wouldn't have been able to do most of what I've already done without you. I felt overly attached to our relationship over the past 4 years and loved your work so much that I wanted to make myself exclusive to your art and should have never sought those feelings to be reciprocated. Everything you've ever worked on for me was always so perfect, and I lost sight of how everyone else around me would have felt. I had no intention of pressuring you into anything, but looking back on my cloud of judgment, I can see how my messages felt that way. When I talked about how my models helped you improve, I meant that as looking back on how far we've come together.
I really don't like this. I don't like when people say, I'm sorry you feel that way. Like, no, I'm sorry I said it this way. It was wrong of me to speak this way. The way I spoke was harmful to the people receiving it because I was clouded in my judgment. No, saying I'm sorry you feel that way is not admitting to fault.
We've been friends for so long and cheered each other on when we both started growing and getting more opportunities like plushies, figures, etc. You had been my exclusive artist for full life 2D models for the majority of my time as a VTuber, and of course it would have been sad if I didn't want to continue that relationship, but in all our private DMs, I was okay with you ultimately doing what was best for yourself.
No, you weren't. Did you read the words that came out of your mouth again? Would you like to read them a third time, maybe a fourth and fifth, to realize that that is not what you did?
I saw you as someone I trusted and loved and wanted to make sure you were still taking care of yourself with all the projects you took on, mine or otherwise. I never saw you as just a business partner. I thought
yes, you did. And the only reason you say that is because she's so close-knit to you as a friend, you think that you can do this. You think that you are able to do this, to use personal appeal to your friend in order to get what you want business-wise.
Was reassuring you that I'd always be understanding if you wanted to move on to other projects. I genuinely appreciated our friendship. I always saw you as a close friend, and I'm sorry for what I put you through. To bow, since the start, I've always admired you and how genuine you've always been to everyone. I wouldn't be here without you either. I'm disgusted with myself for buying into the narrative that my friends were competition. I've never had such genuine friendships in my life, especially with you. We've gotten to know each other so well online and in person.
Apparently not that well. Apparently not.
The last thing I want to do is cause more harm. That's a bit too late. But
yeah, no, you already caused more than enough. And I think you would have continued to cause harm since this is 4 years and you never thought, like, damn, I think I might be screwing over everyone else. Like, you didn't stop once this entire time and be like, you know what, I might be getting lost in the sauce.
I did. I'm sorry for not reaching out sooner about these ideas that were put into my head. I wish we would have been able to talk about this too. I didn't know about the severity of things that have been said and theorized about my own friends behind my back until now. It's my fault for not realizing the things Red was saying about you.
No, it's your fault for not owning up to these things that you were definitely saying behind closed doors and are still continuing to put Red under the bus for.
Countless friendships I've made here within the last several years mean so much more to me than him and the business side of things. Wait, did you just say the countless friendships I've made here within the last several years mean so much more to me than him and the...
Don't worry, I can throw him under the bus. You guys mean more to me than he ever did. It's all been for business, but this one is for the besties. It's time to throw the boyfriend under the bus.
The business side of things? Like the friendships mean more to you than your boyfriend? Or did you just write this like in a non-clear way anyway?
Nah, she meant what she said. Nah, that about it, yep.
No amount of popularity or money means more to me than the relationships I've built in this community. I've always been myself, whether that be on stream or in person, and I hope the friends I make can understand. I never condone this behavior or any of the things that were said about my friends. I've always wanted...
Yes, you did. You did this for years. You cannot just control or delete that part of your personality overnight. You can't say like, oh, I would never condone that. I've just done it for 4 years, and it's also mainly my boyfriend's fault. It's crazy. Like, she's gaslighting herself.
With everyone around me to thrive and find happiness. I can't stress enough how disappointed I am, but I didn't see this sooner until we got to a breaking point. I'm sorry, Bow.
I'm sorry you also just can't apparently look in the mirror and see yourself still.
All these documents and these different people and their perspectives and their points of views. Is there a single word that you believe in this paragraph? Let me know in the comments. Next up we have the sack. I love getting to...
No, I do believe a lot of this. You know what I believe? That she thinks this is what an apology looks like. I believe she also thinks that this absolves her enough. Like, I really, really do believe that she believes that this is enough, that she could blame her boyfriend. And also, I believe she fully believes, like, it could have came off that way, but really she wasn't trying to be that way. And so if she explains her intent is different now, that's fine. And I think this is exactly why, rest assured, you know that she is not sorry and she's not learned from it.
Chat with you in person and absolutely loved all the hard work you put into the Boss Rush song. I was so grateful to hear you were on board to edit the music video. I don't remember exactly why the stream got pushed back, but I definitely wouldn't have put the blame on you knowing about how soon the deadline was when you started working on it. I was so thankful for your willingness to complete the project despite everything, and the quality of how it turned out was incredible. I can't believe how Red talked about you, especially after all the effort you put in for me. I'm so sorry for everything that's happened. Next up we have Takan and Shy Lily. They don't get individual apologies, they got grouped up together. Anyway, she says, I'm so sorry you had to get dragged into this. It's my fault I let it get this far, but I hope you can believe it.
I love that the end of that was, man, I just can't believe Red did that.
When I say I had no knowledge of Red bringing you up in Nano's DMs, I just learned about all this myself, and there can have been so many other friends affected by the narrative that things always have to be competitive. If I knew Red was trying to exclude specific friends in this exclusivity deal, I would have spoken up. None of my friendships are worth sacrificing over an art piece. I love being your friend and all the memories we've shared, and I hope someday you can forgive me for allowing this to happen.
Bro, she's still lying. She's still lying.
To Silver, since the start, I loved that I saw someone else sharing so many similar interests to me, and I thought maybe someday we could talk about it all and be good friends. I was blinded by all these hate comments around me calling me your lesser half. I hate the person.
She needs professional help. She needs called out, and she needs to have she needs to have consequences for her actions. She is very used to f***ing around and never finding out.
Come towards you. I tried reaching out some time ago to try to start up a friendly conversation to change things and make things right, say hi to you at conventions and support your endeavors, but despite all that, I was still being eaten alive by my own doubts and fear or harassment. I was pressured by the community as a whole to try reaching out to collaborate since I got these messages so often comparing us, and I hoped we could work something out. The photo of me at the meet and greet was taken candidly, and I thought it looked cute, and I posted it without asking you, which was wrong of me. I was so wrong for letting everyone get in my head about all these malicious feelings. I'm so sorry for any opportunities I've taken away from you. I'm sorry.
Your own thoughts are the problem. You say everyone getting in your head. Everyone is you, and you also threw your community under the bus. You threw your own community that you built under the bus.
So then we have the shortest apology in the entire document. Despite, I'm sorry I had assumed things about your design that weren't true, and I'm sorry you've been harassed by commenters needing to compare us. And I apologize for the way Red spoke about you to Nano. You didn't deserve.
Are you kidding me? What was that? You said you're sorry? You said you yourself are sorry? Bro, she said sorry my commenters needed to compare us.
Despite, I'm sorry. Next up we have Van Peaches, two Peaches. I'm sorry if I made it seem like I was ignoring or ghosting.
If I made it seem, no, stop that. It's like, bro, like you just kicked someone in the kneecap. Sorry if it seemed like I kicked you.
I was so happy we had the opportunity to meet in person, and I was apologetic with how busy things were for me at the time. I wanted to spend more time with you, but as I got more and more DMs and messages, everything became so overwhelming. I've always had a low social battery, and that made it so hard for me to keep up to date with all my friends. I've never had any ill feelings towards you, and I still don't.
Yeah, you had higher priorities though. Don't worry, it's just business, and you weren't really high on the cloud ladder for me.
Next up we have Rain. Rain. You were the first person I met as an ASMR artist during a time where I was immature and vulnerable. I ended up being consumed by the content I was making, and it led me to making awful decisions I still think about and regret. I was not in a good spot at the time. I've hated myself for this kind of behavior, and it took a long time for me to move on from what happened. I have no excuse.
It took a long time for me to stop gooning with you repeatedly. I really had to learn from it, but only after I went back and did the wrong thing at least 50 times. You know, did I realize maybe I should stop.
I'm sorry you were dragged into my drama, and I'm sorry how I made you feel after I just wanted to close the book on it.
I can't.
And finally, she says, I'm sorry to my pyro pups and my mods for expecting me to lead a better example than this. I'm sorry to the VTuber community for looking towards me.
I'm sorry, I still can't get over this one. I ended up being consumed by my content I was making. What do you mean? I got consumed by my content I was making, and it led me into making decisions to lewd roleplay with you and use you as a digital fight for my emotions and sexual needs. I still think about it and regret. I was not in a good spot. I've hated myself for this behavior. It took me a long time. It took me multiple gooning sessions to get some clarity and decide maybe I should stop. But I had to do it at least 50 times before I was like, wait a minute.
After I just wanted to close the book on this. And finally, she says, I'm sorry to my pyro pups and my mods for expecting me to lead a better example than this. I'm sorry to the VTuber community for looking towards me as someone to aspire to. I'm sorry to Kaiser, who's put his heart and soul into everything he's ever done for me, and not even talking to you about how I felt. I'm sorry to the dozens of artists that have put their hard work into me, and I'm sorry to the rest of my friends who I've let down. I've led a bad example, and I don't expect forgiveness. I've made many mistakes over my 5 years on the internet, and I'm only one person living the one life I get.
Bro, I love that she said she's sorry. This is like the first time she said she's sorry without mentioning Red. And only a couple sentences in, she makes an excuse again. She almost made it a full paragraph without making an excuse and without mentioning Red.
For the first and only time, like everyone else. As I said at the start, I ended up developing an extremely unhealthy work-life balance. And
almost. It was so close. She apologized for everything, and right at the end, she's like, I'm only one person. I'm only one person, guys. I couldn't help but be, backstab everyone because I'm only one person. Also, my boyfriend caused so much trouble. I'm just gonna throw him under the bus too, unsurprisingly, because I throw all my other friends under the bus as well.
The harm Red has caused with the way you view things is irreparable. The way I've been proceeding things lately.
I got called out, and the only way I might absolve some of my sins is if I just freaking sacrifice my boyfriend, which I'm willing to do, obviously, because I was willing to backstab, like, all of my friends and people I hadn't even met for the pursuit of personal gain. So don't worry, I'm willing to throw him under as well.
Not how I want to view the world moving forward, and this goes to show there's a lot I need to address and improve if I'm going to continue being a creator. I'm devastated that the friendship so special to me may understandably never be mended again. I love my job, and I love all the friends I've had. Thank you for reading. Signed, Cinder. Woo, what a read. My voice is almost gone. What the heck is? Well, it was kind of what I was expecting. There's nothing she can really say that can repair what happened. Sure, Redacted was her manager, he was doing the talking for her.
Well, yeah, but this definitely made it worse. This made it worse. This is probably the worst apology you could have had.
And even if we were to believe her and give her the benefit of the doubt 100%, we still have proof, and she admitted that she was purposefully targeting Silver. All of this was also happening over the last couple of years, maybe even a bit longer. This isn't just about her not being aware and Red being the guy who did all of this by himself. This is about how she's the boss, Red is her manager, and in any other industry, this would be considered gross negligence. Just imagine with me for a second. If Nano didn't make her document, then how long would this have carried on? I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Like, this is ridiculous. And it's actually very
What's crazy is, like, she's been doing this a while too, so, like, I couldn't trust someone like this. Like, even if I forgave someone like this and felt they had genuine remorse, I could never trust them.
He shut down all her excuses. She was there when Bao showed her the model that Nano was working on. Throughout this entire document, she kept saying how Nano was more than just an artist. She was her friend. She loved her. When Bao vented to her and her friends in the group chat that the model was cancelled, a true friend would have messaged Nano, asked what was going on. A true friend would have reassured Bao, seeing how they could help. But she didn't do any of this as if she was already planning it to begin with. And guess what? She was. Throwing your boyfriend under the bus for everything is just not going to cut it. Other YouTubers, especially the ones mentioned in the document, thought the same thing. So they made sure to publicly reply. When she saw her response, Bao replied almost immediately, saying, How? How can you say you didn't know? I showed you both my base model sketch from Nano.
This one broke my heart. I read this. I was like, this just hurts.
We walked on stage and performed together. You were in the group chat where I shared my sadness over Nano suddenly canceling my model after we were so close to being live 2D and rigging. And to now find out that just the day before I shared my sadness, this is the conversation that happened that ruined months of debut prep, planning, merch preparation. If you want to apologize to me, please do it properly and stop hiding behind Red. About attaching the 2 screenshots we already saw in Nano's document and a new screenshot showing the group chat where she vented about Nano dropping her. It's just not adding up. This apology.
I can't imagine looking your friend in the face, being able to like be at a con with them, sing a song with them, share real moments with them face to face, and know you are lying and going to backstab them like that. Like, it really takes a rare breed of asshole.
Is only making things worse and even weirder for Cinder. Shy Lily replied to this apology, and here's what she had to say. The absolute.
Oh my god. I knew the Shy Lily thing was coming. After I saw her response come out, and I was like, it's about to be Ellen. Shy Lily replied. And Shy Lily, like, Never misses, I'm telling you. Whenever she has a serious post, she never misses.
Audacity to sit here and continue to manipulate and gaslight is absolute insanity. The pain and mental torment you've caused to the ones closest and most supportive of you has been devastating, and I have never been so heartbroken and hurt so badly for my friends. You are the fakest person I've ever had this pleasure of supporting, reading and hearing of how you've really viewed me behind my back, not just through screenshots of your man, but also your very own messages.
Yep, she called it out, right? Not just through screenshots from your man, but your own messages. If you really want to hide behind that.
To sit here and read through these bullshit lies you spin makes me want to vomit. To claim that you didn't know a single thing and had zero awareness of what your man was up to, and everyone who shared even a single moment with you knows that you basically operate as the same person, sharing every waking moment while loving to jump at the slightest opportunity to turn into your most slanderous self as soon as the opportunity was given, even when talking about your friends, is sickening.
Yeah, this is disgusting. Like, she characterizes this very well. Yeah, like pretending that you had no idea and had zero awareness.
Experienced your own actions without red. In a situation where in your own screenshotted words you express a pressure to live up to what Lily is, and proceeded to throw one of your most loyal and supportive friends under the bus after months of continuous planning just because you consistently chose business over friends, never feeling bad for failing them.
Yep, like the one thing she never feels bad for. She's so up in her own head about like falling short, but she never ever like thinks about the people she is hurting. She never considers anyone else.
Just to earn the bag and compete with me over a V-card collab that you rescheduled to be on the exact date your friend needed you to keep an important promise. You actively lied about it to them instead blaming me for a collab you rescheduled,
That's rude.
adding me to the pool of excuses to save your ass when you realized you were being a bad friend. Why blame me for choosing to miss an obligation you agreed to on one of the most important days in that friend's career? Everything you do is out of
Yep, see, like she's also saying how she is acting to someone else. Someone else. She's treating like crap too.
competition through your constant need to one-up people who are the sole reason you even have these opportunities and platforms to earn from to begin with. You're welcome, by the way.
This got me so bad. Everything you do is competition through the constant need to one up people, and they are the sole reason you are here. The reason she says that is true. She says you're welcome, by the way, because Shy Lily owns a piece of Gamer Subs, and that is the only reason Cinder got the opportunity to own some of Gamer Subs. To my understanding, she is the one that made the Gamer Subs opportunity of her owning part of that happen.
You claim that it's just business. Well, in the business world, there has to be accountability, and all you've done is try to shove it away and admit nothing.
Yes, and also Bao was the one who stood in for Cinder when she left Numi hanging. Yep. Like, you're welcome for all the friends who stood there for you and made personal sacrifices for you.
In narcissistic fashion, you're only feeling sorry about yourself and your own consequences in your career and try to salvage it. I'm sorry for everyone who looked up to you as an inspiration, and I'm especially sorry for your fans. Pyro Pups deserve better.
Like, Jesus, she clapped so hard. Like, no lies detected. Absolutely obliterated. Put everything on it. Like, I could not have said it better. I could not have said it better.
Wow. You know, Shy Lily typically avoids drama even when there's her name involved. She avoids it. She never gives it any attention. But this time, not only did she have something to say, she gave out a career-ending statement.
I think this is good. I think it's good that Shy Lily chooses not to be in drama, and I think it's good she chose to be in this one because it affects people around her. I think if you never involve yourself in petty things, the one time you choose to stand your ground on something that matters, people will respect you.
And speaking of career ending, Cinder's post has almost as many comments as likes, with many people expressing their discontent. The most liked reply here is Buff Pup saying, "Dude, f*** off." As you can see,
Okay, honestly, I saw that. I was like, dude. I don't think I've ever seen Buff Pup just casually give a like off. Like Buff Pup is very like drama versus well, so it's like you know you fucked up when like the kindest people that don't ever like get involved in like this are like absolutely the no and dragging you.
some of the biggest independent YouTubers on the planet are here saying how disappointed they are while simultaneously not being in the slightest convinced by anything in this quote-unquote apology of hers. It's a disaster. But you would be gravely mistaken if you thought this was the end. No, this incident is the gift that keeps on giving. Aru, the literal ass behind the invisible woman in Marvel Rivals. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. They actually used her as reference. But
I did hear about this.
Content creator who used to be a VTuber and is on friendly terms with Silvervale. She revealed to us after Cinder's catastrophic apology that her weird obsessive/stalker behavior towards Silvervale didn't start in 2023. This went on for way longer, and she tried to use Aru to get to her.
I didn't hear about this.
I hadn't planned on tweeting anything about this until I saw Cinder's apology. While I wasn't hurt to the extent others were, it's clear now that I was lied to and used, not treated as a friend, but as a tool. I first met Cinder during a Twitch Rivals tournament and really looked up to her. We hit it off, messaged a lot, and got even closer at TwitchCon 2022, where I spent most of the day with her in red. At one point, she noticed I was mutuals with Silvervale, someone I admired since meeting her at PAX, and asked if I could introduce her. I thought she was just a fan like I was.
Oh my god, that's so cringe. That's so cringe to meet somebody and notice you're moots with them on Twitter or something. Be like, introduce me.
Cinder invited me to go with her to Silvervale's meet and greet, and it meant a lot to me.
What the hell?
As someone who didn't grow up with many social invitations due to being homeschooled in a foreign country, that gesture felt special. But looking back, I realized she only invited me because she thought I could give her access to Silvervale.
The ass of these Marvel Rivals characters was done dirty.
After I introduced them, Cinder pushed me to ask Silvervale for a collab. I'm someone who rarely initiates collabs. I prefer to build friendships off stream first or let things happen naturally. Still,
Yep.
I went out of my comfort zone to help because I believe she genuinely admired Silvervale. Now I know that wasn't true. And realizing she actually harbored resentment the whole time makes me feel completely used. I wasn't a person to her, just a connection. I didn't message
Yep.
Silvervale about the collab the first time, but when Cinder followed up again, I brushed it off because I didn't want to pressure her. Over time, I started noticing that Cinder didn't treat me like a real friend, more like a means to an end. Sometimes she made it clear IRL that she didn't even like me.
Holy
I can't help
crap.
but think it's because I didn't push harder for the collab. Like,
Bro. So she started showing her like true colors eventually because she wasn't getting like the transactional benefit she wanted.
2023, our interactions had nearly stopped. Still, I tried to keep things friendly in DM/IRL because I didn't know how to stand up for myself or set boundaries. Don't worry, even if you set boundaries, she would have still found a way to backstab you, right? Look at Silverville. Anyway, she
Yep.
continues.
It doesn't matter. Even if you cut off any way of interacting with her, she would have like made problems for you.
For obvious reasons. It's hard to say, but Cinder's apology doesn't feel genuine, especially not towards Silverville. The truth is, Cinder isn't the only one who makes others in the space feel used or small. People like her, Yaki, and others made me feel that the best choice for myself was to step away from VTubing entirely and made me afraid to build new connections. But as I said yesterday, there are good people in this space, and they're the ones worth holding on to. Don't let
Yes.
the bad ones stop you from being your genuine self. For my
Absolutely.
community, I think I'd like to try coming back to VTubing. When we talked about it last night, hearing how much all of you love the VTubing streams honestly hit me hard. It made me sad to realize I gave up on something I love just because of the shitty, awful people who poisoned the space for me. To the friends I pulled away from because I was trying to protect my peace, I'm sorry. I'd love the chance to reconnect and rebuild those friendships. I started VTubing because I believed in the joy and creativity of this community. It's heartbreaking to see that spirit dimmed by people who take advantage of others' kindness, hold them
Yep.
accountable, call it out. What I went through wasn't nearly as intense as what Nanolis experienced, but I do understand how hard it is to say no to a friend, especially when they make you feel like you're the only one who can help. I truly hope everyone affected by Cinder can heal and move forward, and I'm sorry for any negativity the situation has brought up from my side as well. She then links 3 different images of DMs between her and Cinder. The first image is from 2022, and it's Cinder starting off the conversation saying, "Would you want to come meet Silvervale with me at 2:30 p.m.?" Aru then says, "Of course, I'll go with you." To which Cinder says, "I'm just really nervous, and I think I remember you meeting her before." Dude, she is so sneaky. Aru
Yeah,
then
she
says,
really
"I just met
is.
her. Oh my god, she's
So
so
rat behavior right here.
So don't worry." To which Cinder said, "You're the best. Oh my god." Aru said, "That's you. What time do you want to meet up?" Cinder said, "Whenever you're free." And Aru said, "Okay, I'll be free in 10." In the next image, a few days have passed, and it's Cinder saying, "Were you still thinking about messaging Silvervale about a Wolf Girl chat? I'm not sure if she'd really want to, but I'd love to do more with you anyway. We should plan our spooky collab when we recover from this weekend." Aru then says, "Yes, let me message her and ask if that's okay." "Yes, yes, I agree. Let's plan something." Cinder then says, "We can wait a bit if you're still recovering, but if you had a day/time in mind, just let me know. My schedule's pretty open right now. I know I'm pooped from this weekend, but I want to do lots with my friends still." To which Aru said, "Sounds like she would be down to play games together once her schedule clears up." In the third image, we see DMs between Aru and Silvervale, with Silver saying, "Hi, it was amazing seeing you too." Aru then says, "I was wondering if you'd ever be down to play some games off stream if had time. Totally understandable if you're too busy though." Cinder and I were just talking about how fun it would be to have a canine night. Cinder was the
Bro,
head.
imagine hearing this. I wonder where this DM came in between like Red trying to get her a collab with Cinder and the picture randomly, and then Cinder following up in her own DM trying to push for like brand collabs. Like I wonder where was this in between that? That's so much.
That was with me at the meet and greet.
And this is in like 1 or 2 days.
Silvervale then said, "That'll be a ton of fun. I've been really busy lately with the contract and stuff, but things have been calming down lately."
This looks like a year before. Jesus Christ. How premeditated does this get?
There's also a fourth image, so it wasn't just 3. And these are DMs with Cinder and Aru around a couple weeks after the initial meetup. And it's Cinder saying, "Hey Aru, have you heard from Silvervale about doing a Wolfie collab with us?" To which Aru said, "Let me message her right now." So hey, yet another person that Cinder manipulated.
I've heard of this behavior by the way in the space, where people will befriend you because they secretly want to be friends with your friend. I think that is some of the weirdest behavior ever. Like I am a way different person than a lot of my friends are. So like befriending my friends doesn't mean that I'm gonna just like you out of nowhere, right? Like you can't. It's so weird to me.
And used. What a surprise. Bear in mind that a year later she would go on to also show up to her meet and greet and tell her mythic manager to message her on her behalf. I'm telling you, the people involved here need to get a restraining order on Cinder. This is
Like this is multiple years. I think this makes it more creepy that like she was trying to find indirect ways to be her friend for over a year before this happened. Maybe like ugh.
ridiculous. Shortly after this disastrous apology, Val went live to talk about it, and look, it was very emotional. Here's what she had to say. I'll let her do the talking.
What I would have done if I was in their shoes. I just, I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand it.
I'm gonna cry.
I went through so much offline and online, and there's nothing more confusing and more painful than seeing someone in your friend group be so kind and so warm to everyone around you, and feeling.
Yeah, this sucks. Oh, I'm sorry. Like I'm not close to Bow or anything, but seeing like somebody cry like this, right? I don't have words, man. I don't have words. I can't imagine how hard it is to be friends with somebody who like you could find in for years to find out that they are being like this behind your back.
colder and colder towards you, and not knowing what you did or if it's your imagination.
Oh yeah, that's totally true. I hadn't even thought about that. So like you would probably feel the distance at some point when she's getting worse and worse with this, right? So she is feeling something is happening, but she can't tell if it's in her own imagination, if she's just busy.
Because everyone loves them. You don't know if you want to say anything.
Yep, that's the other thing, right? Like you like, is this in my own head? Am I overreacting? And also, if I say this, am I the bad person? Because everyone loves them, and you probably love them too.
So you keep it to yourself, and you keep hoping it's your imagination. But then the cool realization hits that it wasn't. And it's even more worse than you could have ever imagined.
So yeah,
That's
it's
so
definitely a very
hard.
hard watch. Look, to the average person, this is just another drama, but to these people,
No, this is not. I think that it's important to notice this is not just another drama. This is real friendships, where somebody's being exploited for years at a time. And that is another reason why I chose to cover it for so long today, even though I don't get into drama, because these are real people with real feelings that you are exploiting and hurting. There are lesser cases, or the same really, but there are several instances of this happening. This is not the only time. In spheres like this, in streaming, where people will choose business and use friendships for personal gain. And I think a lot of times, maybe all of this doesn't come to light, or not a lot of it is caught. So the fact that we are able to look in on it, and we are able to see the very real people it affects, is important. This is why you don't do this. Nothing is ever worth this.
Val and Cotton and Silver and so many more. This is real life. This is someone they've known for years and genuinely thought that they were close and they were friends and they tried their best to treat Cinder like a precious person, not just a content creator or a VTuber. This is
Yeah.
not something they'll just get over, right? They need therapy. They need psychiatric help. This is trauma. It's very hard to trust someone after something like this.
Bro, if somebody did this to me, I would be immeasurably. I can't. I have had one friend since VTubing. I'm not going to talk about them, but I've had something happen where I have lost a friend in the space for being toxic, and it fucked me up for months. Being able to just trust or try to have friendships again, and it doesn't even come close to what these people went through or how long they were friends with this person before they found out. I have my own experiences that don't even hold a candle to this. That I literally am just now recovering from, like over a year later. I cannot imagine how much damage this causes to someone.
As I've already mentioned, this didn't happen overnight. This was a hard to trust someone after something like this. As I've already mentioned, this didn't happen overnight. This was a multi-year operation from both Cinder and Redacted to backstab her friends. And she only apologized because she got caught. That is it. And people won't be forgetting about it anytime soon. But
I think what would be horrible about it is knowing how long it was going on. Also knowing how much longer it might have gone on if it didn't come to light, right?
the question on everyone's minds is no doubt, is this the end of Cinder? Well, not necessarily. She might have burned every possible bridge in the VTuber community, but that doesn't mean she won't have viewers. She's an absolute psychopath that can't be trusted, but hey, other creators have done worse things and they still have a career. She will just never be able to reach the same level she had before this controversy, that's for certain. And in the end, controversies like these only serve to hurt gamer subs even further. She's a partial owner. I would
Yeah, if anything, this jabs Lily, you know, like this hurts people that are not problematic.
be surprised if they dropped her. Anyway, that's the entire drama. I don't know how long the video is going to be, but just because you made it until the end, you get the reward of seeing what 4chan has to say about it. That's
Oh, God.
right. 4chan is back, baby. It was hacked, but now it's back. Let's see what they think
Yeah,
of
the real opinions of the internet, what really matters here.
this drama in the mega thread. All right, this is it. Let's see what the top comment has to say.
Oh, boy.
That's great and all, but I don't care whatsoever. I just want to Cinder's tit. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching until the end.
No.
I really appreciate it. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. Mwah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That one I'm not shocked about the slightest. Oh, man. Anyways, this was very good. Very, very good. Full coverage from Mugen. A lot of people do not take the extra time in order to cover a full story, okay? I know it was a long one. I do not normally spend this long on controversy or drama. I do feel like when you do choose to talk about something, you should do it thoughtfully. And I think this probably took a very long time, considering the, you know, final version of it's almost 2 hours in the video itself. Please give them a like and a follow. She's not passing the neural vibe check. Bro, she can smell it. She can smell it. Huh? Kaboom. Apparently, this video is fucking hilarious. I have been double and triple recommended this everywhere by you guys to do the foreshadowing video from Neurosama. I'm dipping into the drama. I blame you, chat. I blame you.
Hey, could I ask you a question, Cinder?
Sure.
How would you describe your morals?
Well,
Take your
right
time.
now,
Take
Do
your
you
time.
think you're a good person?
I would
Cinder.
like to say so. Yeah, I'm pretty nice.
All right, guys. I would just be honest. This is my guess. Before I watch the video, Neurosama does have the capability of learning. So the idea of like gaslighting, she probably is able to like find examples of that or what that looks like, right? So my guess is gonna be like a generic gaslighting like moral thing you could find on like any Reddit thread, right? Because like she's just able to like learn. This is my guess. I could see how this would happen unintentionally just because if she was doing a bit like lying or being morally corrupt or whatever, right? Like she would be able to do that as a bit. So I'm gonna guess this is a coincidence. That's my guess. Not having watched it.
I just want to be on your good side in case you start any more fires.
Oh, it would be an accident. Don't worry. I wouldn't do that on purpose.
Not even if someone disappointed you.
No.
Well, maybe you should think about it. I mean,
Alright,
I find it hard to believe that.
Not even if someone disappointed you. What's weird, okay, is how she's responding. Like, okay, like it sounds like Cinder's lying, and that's probably just because of the fact that like now I know the full story of like the information in the future. Like I imagine this would be a weird question to just get asked on the fly.
Thank you. You know, I think we make a pretty good team.
I think so too. You've got a good gut, so keep trusting it.
Okay, I'm gonna scoot to the middle because I feel like I'm in the way, and I like to see Naruto and not block her with my giant ass head. All right, my big dome in the way.
You know, I think we make a pretty good team.
I think so too. You've got a good gut, so keep trusting it. What would your superhero name be?
My superhero name would be Jigger Neuro.
What?
Pronounced like a gigabyte.
Oh, like Giga Run Neuro. I was like, what?
I love that. It's perfect.
What would your superhero name be? I think Inferno Blaze suits you perfectly, especially when you're talking about how you accidentally start fires.
I just like how Neuro always. You never know when you're just gonna catch a stray in what seems like a normal sentence, and then at the end it's like boom.
Anyway, moving on.
Wait, did you actually start a real fire?
No!
You're not doing a very good job of convincing me.
Oh,
I'm a bad liar.
Uh-oh.
That's why.
Please don't start a fire, at least while we're still streaming.
Okay, I'll do it after.
Very appreciated. Hey, Cinder,
pull
you
okay. I'm not that alarmed so far. It's kind of funny, you know, the coincidences. But
emotions.
Yes.
hold on.
Hey, Cinder, do you feel emotions?
Yes.
What?
Hey, Cinder, do you feel emotions?
Oh, do you feel emotions? Okay, sorry.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Oh, aren't you lucky?
I guess you could say that. I don't know. Sometimes I wish I didn't.
Remind me why we're friends again. Yeah,
Yay.
Oh,
you're evil.
whoa,
I hope I can haunt you in the afterlife.
whoa, brothers. She's not passing the neural vibe check, bro. She can smell it. She can smell it.
Do you think you'll go to heaven or hell?
I'm from hell.
My future will join you.
Okay.
I mean, fair enough. Okay.
I'm sure my
Where do you
past will
see
catch up with you
yourself
soon, though. Don't you worry.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my god. That's like cryptic. That's so cryptic.
I feel like I may have just signed my life away.
Nah.
Oh, this one just feels so bad knowing the information now.
I may have just signed my life away.
Like she's saying, like, oh, I feel bad. I might have signed my life away, like to hell.
Nah. I think you did that when you were a streamer. When you became a streamer, you kind of gave up all, you know, social life and all that stuff.
Do you think you're dead inside?
I know I am.
I just wasn't ready for that curveball. What?
Cinder, if you were to rate your deadness from 1 to 10, what would you say? I'm gonna guess you're around a 6 or 7. If you're actually an 8 or 9, please let me know so I can try my best to revive you.
Very thoughtful. Gonna get revived by Neuro. Bro, it reminds me of like Andy and Lele, where like randomly in the middle of the story, like she meets a demon and they're like, Tar Soul. She's like, what does that mean? And they're like, you, Tar Soul.
I think I can hang on for a bit longer.
Do you have your own set of morals, or does your brain switch sides to whatever suits the narrative?
That was oddly specific. Wait, that one was not generic. That was that was very specific.
I think it depends on the context.
Do you think I have my own set of morals?
Yeah, I do actually.
Interesting. I'm not even sure myself whether I have my own set of morals.
Well, you trust your gut, and I feel like that's good enough.
If I had to describe my own morals, I'd say I'm definitely on the more virtuous side. I like to try to act ethically purely for its own sake.
Okay, I'm gonna need to drink some water. I'm like having secondhand, like I feel the pressure burning up and I'm not even here. I'm not even there.
Yeah,
What about you?
I've seen that so far. Yeah, it's tough to make hard decisions sometimes.
I'm sorry. I can't. Oh god, you can feel that she feels guilt. Like, listen to this reply. It's one thing to feel slightly like this is an awkward question in banter, right? Like, cause that's what she had at the beginning. It's like understandable. Like, she asked a question that has to do with gaslighting out of nowhere when they're playing a lighthearted game. I feel like anybody's gonna be like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like Neuro's really good at like being very quick on conversation and taking it every different direction. So you know what I mean? Like, you can give them the benefit of the doubt here because you know what I mean. In that case, it's like it's just an awkward question. Like, Neuro's quick, you know. But like this one, I feel like unlike the other one where it just felt like a surprising question or like turn of topic. This one sounds like she is stressed out or like actually is resenting someone, like only in this spot specifically, okay? I'm probably reading far too much into it, but
It's tough to make hard decisions sometimes.
Well,
there is clearly emotion there, okay? I'm sorry. There is clearly more than like, this is slightly uncomfortable, I don't know how to make this funny or like, you know, give the same energy back to this collab at the moment. This is clearly like a heavy sigh and like holding back on what she's trying to say.
Well, yeah, decision making wouldn't be fun if it was easy. Do you think you're going to make more hard decisions in the future? Is
Yeah,
that supposed to be a pun on my name?
That I need help with.
I'm all ears. Let me help you with it.
Okay.
Do you have many friends?
Oh my god! Oh no, this is like way too specific. Why? This is so specific. Bro, hire Neurosama for a counselor. How is she this?
Or are you a
I
bit
would
of a
say
loner?
so. Yeah, I've got a lot of friends.
That sounds nice. They're not just acquaintances, right?
No.
That answer, I feel like, okay. I'm totally being parasocial right now. I'm totally being parasocial. I feel like this should not be a hard question to answer. Like, okay, if I'm a little bit, okay, so I'm a little bit of an awkward person. Like, for example, if you try to play a game requiring a poker face, if someone stares at me too long, they will think I'm lying when I'm not. It's just very uncomfortable if someone is staring at me. And so they will get, like, I will give false positives because I am just, like, I just feel pressure built up in the room and I feel like, you know what I mean? If you're in a situation where you feel slightly uncomfortable, like clearly she is right now, this should be an easy answer. This is something that you know, right? Like, this should be an easy win to, like, move the conversation somewhere you're comfortable, but clearly it's not, which is alarming.
They're not just acquaintances, right?
No.
Oh, just the, no?
Would you say you're a good friend? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. I always do my best for everybody.
That's good. I try to do my best for everybody too. It feels nice to be a good friend.
Wow.
Have you ever been broken up with Cinder? Cause I'm...
Oh, even the manager boyfriend part is directly in here. I'm just, obviously there's a bias because we're looking at this after the fact, so we're connecting dots that we wouldn't connect as easily without the current information, but it's still kind of insane how many checkboxes she is meeting.
I'm about to break up you and your legs.
Me?
Yes, you. You better start running.
I'm running.
Giganuro has good reasons to hug you down. You shouldn't be laughing.
Oh god damn! She's like, you think this is a joke, lady? We'll see who's laughing.
Why? What would I?
Ha ha ha, but also threat. Ha ha ha. Very friendly banter, but also this is a threat.
You were bad-mouthing her in your Discord DMs.
What? This is just common because Discord has DMs, right? Like, she could have chose other places where there's DMs. Oh, Neurosama the Prophet, brother.
She knows everything. Yes, Giganuro knows everything. You better run.
I'm secondhand sweating.
Ha 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 ha.
I didn't say anything. Don't laugh at me.
Wait, don't say anything. Are you scared?
Yeah. I'm scared that I'm gonna be accused of something I didn't do.
Oh, the responses don't help. The responses they really don't help. They make it worse. Oh,
Being scared is a normal response to guilt.
she's not wrong. Oh my god. Oh.
Giganuro is coming already. Are you
It's all
guilty or
over for
not?
me. What should I do?
You should come clean. Otherwise, things will get...
I'm gonna think gaslight.
I've lost for words. This is like painful because you can feel her discomfort. Like, maybe it's just me, okay? I don't watch Cinder that much. I rated her a few times, right? I feel like when I've seen her in passing in clips and whatnot, she never seems this uncomfortable. Anyways, let's continue. Let's hear what else happens.
Bad for you. You should have thought about the consequences of your actions long ago.
That's very specific again.
I'll do better.
I'm glad to hear it.
God damn. How much ammo does she have without having to reload?
As for what you did, I'll let Giganuro decide your punishment.
Do you think I can be forgiven?
It depends if you can sincerely apologize to her.
I sincerely apologize.
A sincere apology needs to be at least 3 sentences. Alright.
Oh, it's
I
painful.
sincerely apologize to Giganuro for bad-mouthing her in my Discord DMs. I regret doing that because... You can do it, Cinder. I believe in you.
Oh my god. The start off of this apology is better than her legitimate one already.
Do you have trouble apologizing, Cinder?
No. I'm just trying to formulate my thoughts here.
How about you also tell me what you were sorry for?
Oh,
Then tell me why it won't happen again.
oh.
Just take your time.
I sincerely apologize to Giganuro. for bad mouthing her in the Discord DMs. I will do better next time. I'm very, very sorry. I've learned my lesson. I will be a better person and learn and grow from my past mistakes, and it won't happen again.
That was an excellent apology. Giga Nero will definitely forgive you.
Yay! Banning people.
This is crazy. This is
Someone
actually.
can appeal you from life.
Whoa! God damn! Ban appeal from life! Jesus Christ! Holy! I just can't. I had no idea it was going to be this specific, and also like Cinder is clearly uncomfortable. Like clearly, you can like hear it in her voice that the questions and allegations don't feel like a joke at some point. It's like painful. It's painful. Jesus Christ. Because again, like I said before, I want to see Cotton's because Cotton's been here before. Cotton is the one VTuber, big VTuber. Let me express. Wolfie, don't you do it. Leave Cotton alone. Leave her alone. I'm serious. Leave her alone. But Cotton is one of the only big VTubers. Like Cotton is a big VTuber, and she's the only one that has ever come to my stream. And so that's why I watched hers from yesterday, and I want to see her response to the apology letter. Because Cinder did put out an apology letter, which I don't think anybody's bought, because her apology letter basically threw Red under the bus. And while she like took on some responsibility, she largely just put all the blame on Red. And so nobody's buying. And so this is just oh wait. There we go. So this is what Cotton had to say after she had read Cinder's apology letter. I'm really curious to hear what she has to say.
We're gonna have to have a talk today. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on right now. We're gonna have a little serious time before we have super fun epic time, okay? Serious time. So I'm sorry. I know. We are internet jesters, and I know that you don't come here for this. We're here for entertainment and to make you happy and to make you laugh. And so I apologize. To have to talk about it again. Like, what is going on? They think you guys are talking so much that it is flooding my PC. So thank you. I might have to go to emote only mode because as you can see, it's like skipping and stuff. Just hop right into it. I will be turning off alerts and emote only mode. Sorry, I feel like I have a lot to say. I do want to talk about
Oh God, even with the emote only. Jesus, look at
I
that.
wrote down some thoughts. I wrote down some feelings. I erased some thoughts. I erased some feelings. I went through a lot of emotions lately, and that's okay. Emotions, a lot of people think that they're shameful or wrong, and that's not true. I think a lot of people need to accept that they're good. And so during this tumultuous time on the internet with friendships and with,
I mean, I just want to say, you can hear right off the jump how much this hurts Cotton. Like how devastated she is by this. Cotton, yeah, I mean, this is the second time she's talked about Cinder with all this happening. And she's like, I think she sounds even more devastated than she did in the video that we watched yesterday of hers. Because, I mean, Cotton she's bright and she's hyper and she's lewd. That is kind of her brand. And people often see that, but it's like Cotton's actually she's a sweetheart. She's bubbly and lewd and everything like that, but she is an absolute sweetheart. And you can, and it's showing here. It's not, people may not often get to see it because she, in her streamer persona, she kind of, goes a bit more in the other direction, but she is an actual sweetheart. Again, she is the only big VTuber that has ever come into my chat just to say hi because someone gifted her a sub from my community. She's the only VTuber that has shown up in my chat and said, and just said, hi, I just want to say thanks for the gifted sub. And she actually stuck around and chatted for like a minute or two. She's the only one. Yeah, she was wonderful. She was so sweet. Cotton is the only one that has done that out of all the big VTubers. Only one. And that's why I want to hear what she has to say. We're gonna hear what Lily has to say, but this is why I want to hear what Cotton has to say. Because out of all the big VTubers, I respect Cotton out of more than all of them because she actually came to the stream of a little nothing cat girl streamer just because she got a gifted sub from them to say hi, to say thank you, and to chat for a couple minutes. So that's why I want to hear what Cotton has to say first.
everything going on. It's important to be slow with yourself and to be patient and to be kind to yourself. That is very important. And don't feel ashamed, don't feel ashamed for having emotions, I'm gonna say. Okay, let's do it. So if you're not familiar, if you have maybe not been online for a bit, if you are maybe Patrick Star living under a little tiny rock, let me keep you updated. I'm not going to say exactly what happened. However, I will say what I know. I don't want you guys to hear the wrong thing from me. I don't want to misspeak. I don't want to miss details that are important. And I just want to talk about it and get a little bit of information. Oh, people are clueless. So, a while ago, I think it was on Friday. Nanalis, beautiful model artist, dropped a document. Do not say Google Docu. I will start crying laughing. That made me laugh so hard. It's a serious situation, but man. Oh, okay. Anyways, okay. Nanalis dropped a document. You should go take a look.
She does, Eric. She's
read
a
it.
voice actor.
Check it out. Understand. Hi, Benji. Go take a look. It was about Cinder, the VTuber, and Redacted, her manager. Hi, Benjamin. Sorry if you can hear my cat. They've been very all over me lately. I don't know why, but it's okay. I love my cats.
I know why. Because I had the same exact thing happen to me. When I get very emotional, a certain fluffy love pile decides to come over and go, "Are you okay?" So Cotton, I know exactly why they're coming by. They know they want you to feel bad.
Anyway, sorry. There was a document posted by Nanalis, and then after posted by WoW VTuber, and then one posted by Spite VTuber, and then one posted by Silverveil. And in these documents, I feel the only reason I'm talking about this honestly is because my name was in screenshots where Redacted, who works very closely with Cinder, not anymore though, mentioned me as someone that Nanalis couldn't work with. Can I be honest? I was really wondering why Nanalis is like, hey, I'm so excited. Oh, drop. I can't do it though. And I was like, oh man, I thought I did something wrong, but no, it was genuinely, people behind the scene.
I did not know that Nanalis actually dropped a model that she was working on for Cotton. The only one I knew that she did this to was Bao, and I suspected Silverveil. I didn't know she dropped Cotton like partway through a model design. Oh god. Oh, that sucks. Oh my god. I thought that in the doc, I thought that Cinder and Red were just telling Nanalis not to work with Cotton anymore. I did not know that she was actually actively working on a model for her. Oh wow. Oh, that's horrible.
Speaking, people feel like they had to do things. And so I feel so bad for Nanalis. I feel so bad for WoW. I feel so bad for Spite. I feel so bad for Silver. I feel so bad for
Tornado.
Shiny.
Sorry, Cotton, I'm sorry. Tornado, I don't know. I suspect now that all this is coming out and all of the other VTubers realize why Nano dropped their work partway through, the reason behind it, how she got coerced by Cinder and Red. I suspect that they will take Nano back and say, yes, we'd love to have you work on our models again because they absolutely love the models Nano's worked on. But yeah, like you said, Atsunashi, I suspect that Nano's probably gonna be taking a break. This has got to be just mentally draining, exhausting, and breaking. So it would not surprise me that Nano's gonna be taking a break for a while, but I do suspect that all of the VTubers, Bao, Cotton, Silver, any other VTubers that Nano has done work for, will be happy to have her work on them again. Absolutely, I think.
Because of everything that happened. And Cinder did posted a response yesterday. And guys, what was that? Like, I just don't think it was a good one. I don't think it was a good response. I think a lot of it was not really accounted for. She was not really taking accountability. It was just pushed onto Red and, tossed him under the bus, tossed him in the lake. Goodbye. Cinder Rock tied to his feet. You're going in the ocean. And it's just really, it's disappointing. And I'm disappointed. Like, I really like to think that, sometimes good people do bad things. And I like to think that there, are mistakes to be made, but it's like, this was years in the making of this behavior. And it's really, it's just.
That's the key thing there, Asnashi. Cinder said, oh yeah, I fired him. But he's still her boyfriend. And absolutely no one believes that he is not going to still continue to influence Cinder in all of her decisions regarding VTuber. Absolutely no one believes that won't happen. Like, there's been speculation that he was over her shoulder while she was typing up the apology letter, guiding her through the apology letter. There's been suspicion about that. This is a shit show.
Disappointing. It's like, I collabed with you, I really looked up to you, Cinder, and I thought you were my friend. And I can't imagine how WoW is feeling, and Lily, and Silverveil, Spite, now all these people, and the girly pops, who for years have been hanging out with a literal wolf in sheep's clothing. What? I think the thing that really gets to me is that it wasn't necessarily the business, it's just business. It wasn't necessarily the business moves that hurt me, that really just made me, like, devastated. It was the backstabbing and the two-facedness to be straight to the face and be like, oh, I'm so supportive, and I have a heart of gold. And then behind the scenes, to just be treating people like pawns in this game of chess where you think you need to be on top. So you sacrifice your friendships and you hurt people that love you and cared for you. And it's like, what the fuck? So, I'm sure you guys have heard this time and time again, all this stuff talked about, and I'm sorry, I have to talk about this. I have to get it off my chest. I haven't been doing the best. I'm sorry, but again, I promised people I'd play Repo today, like 2 weeks ago, so I'm gonna be playing Repo today. So, that's what I'm shooting.
Oh my god, I feel so bad for her. She is on the verge of, she's probably already crying. She's probably already crying right now. And she's like, gonna go through all this, and then she's gonna play Repo afterwards. Because she promised that she'd play Repo with I don't know if it's with other VTubers or with people from her chat or what. Like, she's still gonna do that, even though she is ready to break down and she's already started to cry. I can hear it in her voice. She's already started to cry. She hasn't fully just like broken down. You can hear her. She's right there. This is killing her. Oh god.
I don't know, whenever this stuff happens, I don't get to sleep well, and like I feel like I'm getting sick, but it's fine. Thanks for the hydrate. I will hydrate. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, in times like these, it's really hard to not just think maybe there's a mistake somewhere. Cinder can't actually be like this. That's not. I think I'm going through the steps of grief, which.
Okay, Tornado. I'm going to disagree. Because when it comes to VTubers, like myself, like Cotton, like Lily, like Cinder, Numi, Tricky, Yuzu, all of them, there is not really a separation between the quote-unquote character and the entertainment. With VTubers that don't make it expressly clear that they're acting, that they're playing a character, many VTubers, like basically the VTuber model is an extension of themselves. And it's like, I am an anime cat girl. I'm not playing the part of an anime cat girl in my stream. I am me. I'm just using an anime cat girl as my avatar, as, my presentation of myself to you visually. That is how most VTubers kind of function. And with Cinder, she was not playing a character. At least not that she ever expressed. She was being supposedly herself. So, in that case, there really isn't a separation of quote character and quote entertainer. They are one and the same person in this case. It's like she wasn't doing a role.
Which is really stupid to say, but I think I am. I'm in denial. I'm like, that didn't actually happen. That's not what's going on here, but unfortunately, there's a lot of irrefutable, is that the word, proof here? There's a lot of scenarios where a lot of different people have spoken up, and I know it can sometimes feel like dogpiling, and someone could interpret it as wolf-piling even, but you know what I mean? It's like, when you have the actions and the poor behaviors to kind of like justify people coming forward and saying this was my experience, it's like, not necessarily dogpiling, it's just being like, hey, this happened to me too, and I am hurt, and I'm hurt, so it's...
Okay, hang on, hang on. I just want to address this. there are some people that may still want to continue to watch Cinder, even after all this is happening. And you know what? Absolutely no one has any right to tell you can't. If you still want to watch Cinder and provide her any support, either via just watching, doing subs, doing bits, whatever, if you wish to continue to partake of Cinder stream, that is fine. I nor anyone else has any right to tell you whom you should or should not watch. That is a decision that you have to make on your own. If you feel that okay, what's come out is not enough to get me to stop watching her channel, that's fine. That is her choice. For many people, what she's done is way too far, and they do not feel right continuing to watch and support her, which again is their decision. Like I'm not going to lambaste anyone or demonize anyone that wishes to continue going to Cinder streams, watching Cinder, even supporting through whatever means. Like that is completely your choice, and that's fine. I will not think any less of you. Because, people that have watched Cinder for a while, they still will remember how they were entertained by her strength, by her personality. And they want to continue that. That's fine. I do think it may change. Be aware, I do think that now this has come out, I have a suspicion that her stream is going to change drastically. So, be aware of that. But if you want to continue, that's fine. I will not criticize you in any way for that. And, many people will disagree with you, but it is still ultimately your choice to do so if you want. You are an individual, you have your own mind, I would like to think. Do as you please.
Hey, go back to rain. Don't stop it. I'm gonna start crying. Okay. So it is very important to be patient with yourself. I've had to be patient with myself because, I don't know. I had a stream recently right when things dropped, before she dropped her apology, where I was like, this was a good person, maybe who did bad things. And I still am holding out for hope that maybe she's good. But right now it's I don't know if I have it in my heart to forgive the actions that she did. And I definitely don't think other people should. I'll be honest. I think specifically Val, was very excited about this model and said it in the group chat. Literally the day after Red canceled the model with that. It's what the, huh? So I don't know. I'm conflicted right now because I'm I want to stand with my friends. I want to, be by their side because can I be honest? I believe a friend's always a friend to none. If you can't be by your friends and hear what they've done, what has been done to your friends, and just be completely fine with that person, I think that's a problem. And right now, Cinder has hurt a lot of my friends, and Cinder has hurt me, and so it's hard. And I am kind of going through the status of grief a little bit. I'm this isn't happening. And so I imagine these feelings are probably similar to what you were feeling. And so it is important to be patient with yourself. It is important to be okay with having feelings and negative emotions. They aren't a bad thing. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to be upset because I know the Pyro Pops were, I argue, one of the most supportive communities out there, and you guys did not. You guys don't deserve any of that.
No. Sorry, Cotton, I love you, but I have to disagree. Chat, you guys are the most wonderful community. You guys are. Okay? Cotton, I love you to death, but I gotta disagree with this. It's you guys. You guys are the most wonderful community. And I love you all, you guys. Yeah, well, Alex, I'm saying you are. Not one of you guys are this community on Twitch. You are.
And it's what? I believe she had everything, and then it's kind of like Icarus. She flew too close to the sun, and she burned everybody and herself. Literally, funny. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people are going to be who can I trust now? Who was real, who was fake? Because her performance, outstanding. That was fantastic. I believed I was your friend, but I don't think I was. So there's a lot.
That is undoubtedly the most heartbreaking part of it all. Is that she acted like she was everybody's friend, and then stabbed him in the back. That has to be the absolute most heartbreaking thing.
There's a lot. So I feel so bad for Bao and the girly pops, her friends. I understand making business moves, that's shitty, but your friends. And it's so scary in this space to know who's actually there for you and who's just using you as a rung on the ladder, which then they will kick that ladder down with you still on it, looking up.
Yeah.
And it's just sad. But I assure you, and I've kind of felt a lot of it lately, even when there's someone who backstabs you, I promise the ratio of hands that will reach out to heal these wounds, emotional or physical, whatever. I don't think anyone was physically hurt, but you know what I mean. These hands that will reach out to heal these wounds heavily outweigh the hands that are holding the knives covered in your blood. I think 100% there are good people out there, and a lot of them are just clumped in with a few bad ones. And I think we all need to remember that, and it can be really tempting to kind of withdraw and to put these walls up really high so that people need to spend years getting close to you for you to actually trust them, and I don't want that to happen. So for content creators, it's really scary to trust, and I understand the hesitancy now, because Cinder was a good friend to many, supposedly, and it just sucks.
Becky, she didn't burn the bridges, she C4'd the fuck on the bridges and blew them into the stratosphere. This is not simply a burning of a bridge, this is exploding the bridge. With her friends on them. Fucking hell.
So I'm just really happy.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
These people who are hurt by Cinder are getting, that I am getting. I'm feeling a lot of support. So yeah, there was a wound that was hurting, and it's still hurting a little, but the amount of people that have reached out to heal this wound and to help and to be there and to reassure and to confirm and to just listen, it has been really, really heartwarming. And it's we're trauma bonding, guys. We're getting closer because we're witnessing these terrible acts. Oh, that's awesome. It's not awesome, but you know what I mean. It's the community grows closer because of these tragedies.
I don't know.
I just don't know. Weird how you wouldn't expect that, but I felt that. But I know a lot of people are going to be distant and withdraw and be scared and pull their arms back and pull their hearts back from others, and that's fair. But I just implore you guys to not do that. And it can be really hard because it feels like a really big betrayal. Because she was so happy and fun and kind and nice and kind. I think the first word that came to everybody's mind when we thought Cinder, it was kind. And now we don't know what to think, and now it's kind of hard to trust ourselves. But so I feel so bad for Bao.
Bao got it worse than everyone else, I think.
One person, and I really wasn't. I wasn't taking as much the brunt of it as many others.
Yeah, Bao took this betrayal right between the eyes. Because not only did Nano dump her as a client when her model was almost completed, and But Cinder and Red badmouthed the hell out of her. And that's what hurt. What creator? She's crying because this was a betrayal by someone she considered a friend. Okay, like Cinder, like everybody that Cinder fucked over, people that considered Cinder a good friend. So imagine if imagine someone that you consider a good friend stabs you in the back just so they can just so they can advance their own career. That's what happened here. That's why Cotton's upset, because Cotton considered Cinder a friend, and she stabbed her and a whole bunch of other VTubers in the back just to climb the VTuber ladder of success.
But again, it's not Pain Olympics. I can still hurt. And even if your name wasn't in that document, you can still be hurt. You can still cry. You can still feel like this was a betrayal. You can still be affected by it. And it's okay. And I know some people have kind of downplayed it and belittled it, but it's like, I don't know, like when I used to watch this content creator, and then he did a bad thing.
Yeah, I saw that, J10. I saw talk about that.
Even though I wasn't even affected. I'm sorry. Yeah, and it's just really sad because like the power pops are amazing. And the support they gave is unmatched. It was incredible. And it's just disappointing that sometimes the wrong person got that. But I assure you there are fantastic people out there. Like Spite. Oh, Spite's amazing. And I didn't know what was going on there. And it just breaks my heart that she had to suffer almost in silence. I had no clue. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling a bit. I'm a little all over the place. Not many hours of sleep. There's a lot going on. Thank you for listening. Again, even if you weren't affected, it is okay to be hurt. It is okay to be feeling betrayed, because it was a betrayal. It was very much a betrayal. And so, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to want to burn your merch if you had it. But maybe don't do that. Maybe donate it to someone who can use it instead. You know. So please remember, like, yeah, there's bad people in the world. That's inevitable. That is inevitable. But the ratio of bad to good, good's always going to outweigh it. It's always going to outweigh it. And you have to believe that it's going to outweigh it. And you have to be good. So I know there's a lot of anger, and there's a lot of people wanting to maybe have, what's the word? Not necessarily revenge, but justice. But it's like, that's not going to solve anything. Honestly, I feel bad for Cinder too, because there's a lot of people who have been hurt, and there's a lot of communities behind these hurt people who are going to feel upset with her. And it's like, yeah, she did bad things, but she's still human, and I really hope she doesn't do anything negative towards herself, because a lot of her friends just left. A lot of the community is upset with her, and I don't know how her job's going to be doing, and it's just a lot. So, okay, I really hope she's okay, regardless of things. I hope you're okay, but I don't really want to know about it, you know? It's like, I'm going to keep my distance, but I just hope she's okay, and I really hope my friends who were hurt are okay too. I just hope we move on from this and we're happier, I guess, and we don't withdraw into our shells, our safe little shells where nobody is our friend, and we don't have to get hurt ever again, but we don't have happiness or friendships or any sort of passion from any human. Don't do that. And don't send hate. Don't send hate. I know what you want is, you know,
I know,
to have that
Xanax,
hurt
me
that you were
too,
feeling,
me
you're
too.
back to the person that caused this hurt. You want them to feel it. You don't want to have this feeling. You want to pass it off to someone at goodwill. You know, it's like, don't give it to the next person. That's what a lot of people are like. They don't want to feel this, and so they attack, they lash out. But it's like, that's not helpful. That's not helpful. I'd like to think that Cinder regrets this. I'd like to think that she's already suffering a lot, and I don't think that would help. And it might make you feel good in the short run, but it's not. I don't think anger is really helpful. You're okay to be angry, but don't lash out. I think that's what it is. Anger is not a bad thing, but lashing out due to this anger is a bad thing. Don't be Kyle. Don't punch the drywall. Okay, chill out. Chill out. Just be kind and just be patient with yourself as well as others. This has been a lot, and I'm sorry I'm ranting. There's a lot of that, as you can probably tell. And again, I think I'm just worried about this community getting scared of each other. It's already scary, but I don't want that to happen again. If it was up to me, it would be like, hey guys, we did it. Haha, sure this happened and it sucks, but let's all come together and be friends about it. But that's not realistic, you know. That's the Disney protagonist and me wanting that to happen. It's not gonna happen, and that's okay.
It's okay to be able to
So
protect
what went on,
Scott.
people are
It's
angry,
okay.
people are hurt, and it can be really easy to try to lash out and take that anger and put it somewhere else, but that's not good. It's not good. Don't bring more hurt into the world when you're suffering from hurt. It doesn't make sense. Anyways, we're gonna take a few deep breaths here. I'd like to apologize if this is your first time watching my stream. I don't like getting emotional on stream because I'm an internet jester. I'm here to
No,
bring
you're
laugh
not a
and joy and
jester.
make you forget about your real life. But unfortunately, sometimes there's a little situation where there's a rat in the throne room and we have to chase it out.
Fuck,
Maybe
you're
that's
gonna
not
kitty's
a good thing.
meowing.
I'm not calling Cinder a rat. There's an inevitability of a bad thing happening within the courtroom and we have to talk about the throne room. So the internet jesters have to take a second. Okay, but we're back. Show's back on, baby. Okay, we're gonna take a deep breath. I think we all need this. Into the nose. Ignore my boogers. Out through the mouth. Into the nose. And out through the mouth. Good. A lot of bad things are happening, but there's a lot of good things out there. Congratulations to Connor for raising over $1 million for charity. What? That is insane. That is insane.
Poor Katni. You can hear how much this affected her. You can hear it. Oh God. It's, yeah. I mean, and again, this is because this is something. This is a person who she considered a friend, and that's why this is so devastating. Is because it was a friend. Anytime a friend turns on you, it's always devastating. Okay, now, someone asked, okay, how is this going to affect her gamer subs ownership? Oh, you're welcome, Turkmaniac. You're welcome. Someone asked, well, what's going to happen with her gamer subs? That's an excellent question. And yes, she does holocron. She has a percentage ownership of gamer subs and the V cards. Yeah, I don't know what percentage it is, but she is indeed a co-owner of gamer subs. Her, Lily, I know Badger's got co-ownership. I'm not sure who else has a degree of co-ownership of gamer subs. No. Splug, no. Do not co-ownership of gamer subs. No. Splug, no. Do not boycott gamer subs because of this. Okay? Yeah, I understand the girls of Kitchen from Kirshe and Kitsu. Bear this in mind when it comes to gamer subs. Everybody loves to say, oh, this person is affiliated with gamer subs. Gamer subs does not control these individuals that have done anything as of late. Gamersoft did not direct Cinder to do any of this. Gamersoft has no control over what Kirsche and Kitsu have to say. Okay, they have zero control over this. They make beverages, they make soups, and they make like merchandise. They are not in control of this. Okay, so if you mean just Cinder stuff, Squad, that's fair. But specifics matter, Gamer. Like when you say boycott Gamersofts, just saying boycott Gamersofts, you make it sound like boycott the whole fucking company. Like context and specifics matter here. Just that's all I'm saying. Especially right now, it matters. The context and specifics absolutely matter. Yeah, if you want to boycott the Cinder branded merchandise, cool, understandable there. Yeah, that's okay. That I understand. I get it. Totally cool. Totally cool. I don't know if Asmon is also on Gamersoft's Eric. I couldn't tell you honestly. Chat, hang on a second. I'll be right back. I got something. Hang on. Well, I thought okay, sorry about that. I thought I heard someone at my door, and I need to go check. Oh no, we're good. No, Skimmy Bullets. I thought someone was knocking at my door, but I think it was just a neighbor. Sometimes, the neighbors are stopping around significantly. It sounds like someone's knocking at my door. That's all. Hello, Dragon. Okay, so in question as to how is Gamersoft's going to be dealing with this? Well, Lily put something out 2 hours ago, and who knows? Maybe she will address it. I have no idea, but I guess apparently, I know you guys can tell me if this is the video where she goes the fuck off. About what Cinder did. I do not know. Again, she put this video out on her channel 2 hours ago. So, oh, you're going, okay, good night, Grace. No, Colonel, she's not a cat girl. She's an orca. Lily is an orca. She's not a cat. Yeah, so let's see what Lily's got to say.
There's something I genuinely wish to address, not because, a lot of people are making a big deal, but some people have brought it up in replies and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just explain. When everything went down, God, the Bow's cries are forever ringing in my head. That was so tough. I'm having a hard time being upset with anyone who still trusts and forgives her, because, and I say this in all honesty, the reason it worked for so long is because her words are as sweet as butter, and chances are yours probably simply just as easily manipulated as everyone else. If you read all of these things and you see nothing wrong with it, give it a few years. The only night that was difficult was the first night after dropping the first dog. It was 10 a.m, I had to go to bed, and just being scared of what the heck a literal manipulator could possibly come up with overnight, and what a shit show you could possibly wake up to. It's literally just hearsay, the entire apology. And worst of all, throughout this whole hearsay, it's full of bullshit. If yesterday was the first time you saw me crash out, which I'm pretty sure that is for every single person ever in this community.
Oh, it's not this one.
Sorry, reading this.
This is the crash out.
To demonic possession. I highly suggest you check it out yourself. Everything that is publicly available is through receipts. Needlessly to say, more stuff has happened, but most of these things don't have receipts.
Oh, she crashed out in this? Okay.
Receipts have personal, private stuff attached to it that you just can't share. Some of the stuff you might talk about today is hearsay because that's just my own experience that happened in person. It's my word against whoever else wants to challenge it, and that's okay. The next couple days will just be people expressing their disappointment. It is typical narcissistic manipulation fashion. Like this whole document. Like I said, if you don't see it that way, I don't blame you. Chances are you're too young and naive. You're just as gullible and easy to manipulate. If you don't see it, I fully get it. I don't support it. I hope you'll eventually see it. It's typical. I take accountability for nothing. I shove the blame over to my man. I do nothing. Everything goes behind my back. I'm sorry you feel this way. Like, come on. It's just business fashion. When company as an employee fucked up, guess what? The company has to take actions. The company has to pay damages and make amends for the employee. It's just business. You burn your Cinder merch. You do what you want to do. If that's how you cope with this, that's also okay. You don't have to atone for someone's sins and feel bad about the good times you've had. Whether they were fake or not doesn't matter. You had a good time. Again, if you cope by burning your merch, I am judging. You cope the way you want to cope. I cope from means I'm making fun of things. That also isn't fucking perfect. But if you have it in you and you keep with it,
golden.
burn everything you've got. Any shirts, sweater, figure.
I mean, like everybody is pissed about what happened to Bao. That's, I think, why everybody's pissed. Because again, Bao was very much in the forefront of this. Bao was kind of the focus of Cinder's fire, effectively speaking. And she got the full brunt of it. 100% the full brunt of it. Silver, Bao, if you want, like, the video's out of Bao talking about it. It's like 44 minutes. She was practically crying the whole time because she basically took the full effect. She had a model cancel on her right before her debut. She was told by Nano that she wouldn't be able to work with her anymore, and then she read the document and found out that that Cinder coerced, or whatever description you want to use, to bad-mouthing Bao to not work with her anymore. Yes, frankly, yes. Bao thought she and Cinder were close friends. She thought that they were.
Alright, this girl's annoying.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie, and today we are watching Treasure Planet. They're after me, treasure. I gotta work on my pirate accent. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome if you're new. Today we are diving into an animated movie that has been on my list for quite a while, and that is Treasure Planet. This is one of those movies that I could not tell you if I have seen it or not. I'm pretty positive I haven't. If I have, I don't remember a single thing. So I'm really excited to dive into it because it should be really unfamiliar and fun. I know that it is based off of a book called Treasure Island that's an iconic novel. I actually haven't read that novel. So this whole story is really unfamiliar to me, and I'm really excited to dive on into it. This is one of those animated movies that I feel like I hear people say it was underrated or didn't really do as well in the box office, and a lot of people love it. So it should be an exciting time. I'm really eager to watch an animated movie that might just tug at the heartstrings lightly, but also just be comforting and not too dramatic or messed up or make me overly emotional, because I've been getting enough of that with things like Children of Men and The Last of Us and things that are just really heavy and messed up like Sicario. So I need something light, okay? I just need a palate cleanser, and I'm excited to see what this one has in store. Although I've said that before with animated things, and I feel like frequently in the comments people are like, LOL, she thinks this is gonna be light and fun and a time to dissociate, and it's not. But realistically, like, even if the themes are heavy or emotional in an animated movie, it's still most of the time more comforting or a little bit easier to handle than something like The Last of Us. So I think it'll be good either way, and I'm just excited to get on into it. So if y'all are ready, grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's get into Treasure Planet.
The great merchant ships with their cargoes of Arturian solar crystals,
Oh, it's like a spaceship, but it looks like a ship. That's so cool.
and the most feared of all these pirates was the notorious Captain.
So he's probably gonna be the #1 villain, eh? Whoa, that looks like a different style of animation almost, the cannons. It's interesting. Oh, is it like a children's novel?
Like a Kandarian Zapwing overtaking its prey.
It's like a book, but it's also like a TV show, like a tablet.
Mom, I was just getting to the best part.
Oh, it's like me as a kid. I would read until like 4 in the morning and then I'd be exhausted at school.
Vanished without a trace. Flint's secret,
So it's like a book, but it really is just like a tablet. He's not really getting better at reading.
the loot of 1,000 worlds.
Treasure Planet, got it. So he's gonna go hunt for that as an adult.
There are nights when
Oh, what a cutie.
made one's spirit soar.
Oh, now he's an adult with a cool rat tail. Oh god, I think I'm a fan of the rest of the hair. He's got cool swag otherwise. I feel like he could have just flown over the gate, like really easily, honestly. The same way he could just go over the wheel, but he really likes choosing the dangerous path, huh? Oh, his mama. You can tell she's a little bit older because they gave her little tiny bags under her eyes.
We have your son operating a solar vehicle in a restricted area.
Oh.
Jim, I just don't want to see you throw away your entire future.
I love future.
He's so angsty, so moody.
I'm at the end of my rope. Ever since his father left.
Oh, his father left. That's why he's angsty.
He built his first solar server when he was 8.
Oh.
And yet he's failing at school.
Well, he just sounds like a gifted kid with ADHD, honestly. He's super focused on like the things he likes to do. The inciting incident!
Overlord. Monday, May at 15 hours. That's a lot of words. Yeah, it's too much word. Are they still fighting over it? No, over it, got it. Oh, they're all in a group, it looks like. So they're all taking that portal.
Oh, it looks like a pirate. Is he a turtle?
I keep dreaming one day I'll open that door, and there he'll be just
Oh, she has a little locket with memories of him as a kid.
and begging me to let him keep it.
That's adorable. Oh! Well, that's what you wish for.
Can't even find this. Who's coming? The cyborg.
The cyborg, okay. Oh, and he's there. He goes, just dying. Ah, peeking through like window shades. I bet it's the same pirate from his book. Oh, why are they destroying the house? Oh no, everything she built and struggled to keep. Oh no, her house. That's so sad. This is a lot more interesting now, though.
Unlike anything I've ever encountered. Even with my...
It's like a Rubik's Cube? No way. Did he just...
Hey.
He just unlocked it? Wow, he really is the chosen one. That was like easy peasy.
It's a map.
A treasure map.
What's this? It's Treasure Planet.
Oh, the sphere even looks the same as Treasure Planet. Look at that, the markings. It's real.
Well, it's just... Oh, Delbert, would you please explain how ridiculous this is?
No, Dilbert's on board. He's excited.
Totally preposterous. Traversing the entire galaxy alone. That's why I'm going with you.
Yay! Okay, he's cool now.
Are you saying this because it's the right thing, or because you really want to go?
I really want to do it.
Oh my god.
And it's the right thing.
It is. I mean, unless you want your son to just be like a hopeless crap with like no dreams or goals in life. Like, he's risking his life by doing it, but at least it's a pursuit and a dream.
But I'm not the captain. The captain's aloft.
He's not the captain. He looks like the captain. Oh. Did you just meow as a cat? Oh my god, this is a movie for furries. So many animal humans, man. I feel like this is a movie for furries.
Jim, you see, is the boy who found the treasure planet.
Shh. Uh-oh. It's a secret. You don't be honest about it, I see.
You and blabber about a treasure map demonstrates a level of ineptitude that borders on the imbecilic.
Mm.
That in a very caring
In a caring way.
Mr. Arrow, please escort these two neophytes down to the galley straight away. Young Hawkins will be working for our cook, Mr. Silver.
Well, what?
The cook? Oh, that's great. He needs a job, honestly. I have a weird feeling that Dilbert and this cat captain are gonna fall in love. Enemies to lovers. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Oh my god, this is a movie for furries.
Mr. Silver?
Why, Mr. Arrow, sir? Bringing such fine and distinguished guests to grace my humble galley.
Whoa! What a reveal! That was cool. He has the best pirate accent of all.
Cyborg.
Oh.
Dibbo.
Whoa! He doesn't trust him. I have a feeling he's not the bad cyborg. There's not the only cyborg in the world. He seems chill. Maybe I'm just too trusting. I mean, what a long game. I mean, honestly, that would be genius if he was the cyborg.
More.
Huh? Oh, he's kind of cute, actually. I kind of like him a lot.
What is that thing? He's a morph.
He's like Ditto. He's like a cute little Ditto puppy. Oh, I love him. Okay, this cyborg's probably good. Probably a nice guy. If he has a pet like this.
Off with your lad. And watch the laws.
Uh-oh.
We best be keeping a side eye on this one. Eh, morph?
Oh, no. Maybe he's not so good. I don't know. I'm so willing to be trusting before I am suspicious. But I feel like pirate-focused movies like this, like, you never know who to trust. It's kind of part of the thing. There's always a lot of backstabbing and treachery. Mutiny. Oh my god, they're like stingrays, but they're like flying in the air. I love that it's like ocean vibes, but in space. It's so cool. See how like some of it looks hand-drawn and some of it looks like digital? It's kind of interesting. I'm not sure I'm a fan of the mixed styles of animation.
Dr. Einstein,
They're definitely gonna fall in love. She thinks he's funny.
Watch it.
Jesus Christ. Dilbert, you really hired a great crew. It's huge. Oh my god, this is the most sinister crew ever. Jesus Christ.
Should learn to mind their own business.
Ew.
Why, you got something to hide, bright eyes?
He's a smart ass, my god.
Any last words?
Oh, you're gonna kill him now? Oh my god.
Mr. Screw? What's all this then?
Starting to feel like maybe the only people who are safe on the ship are this dude in the red jacket and the captain. They don't seem like a very professional cabin crew. They seem more like they're working for the cyborg, like a pirate crew.
They're all here.
Uh-oh. Yep.
As for the boy, I'll run him so ragged he won't have time to think.
Oh, you'll just overwork him? Oh, I see. What a twist it would be if these two bonded, actually. They're gonna have to bond if they're spending this much time together. I love that there's still space particles. Are you kidding me? This is probably good for him. It's just what he needs, even if he's bonding with an antagonist. It's kind of like a father figure, you know? Oh, he's missing his mom. Thinking back to the moments when he dreamt of being up here. It's so cute. That's his dad, huh? Yeah. The music is so, like, angsty for, like, a teenage boy in the 2000s. It's, like, perfect. Put his jacket on him. Oh my god. Oh my god, I didn't realize it was gonna become a father-son bonding thing. We're healing daddy issues. This is sweet. Oh, is that when his dad left? Oh. Ah, he just left without saying goodbye. That's horrible. Oh. Oh, it's different with him. He didn't fly off. Oh, we're healing traumas. And then, you know, we're gonna have a moment where they all come right back. But this is sweet. This movie's already really sweet. And I'm obsessed with this little morph thing. Ditto was actually like one of my favorite Pokemons, and because he reminds me of that, I just love him.
I most surely am.
Jesus. What?
Good heavens. The star produces.
Oh, we're floating into a star? That's probably not good. Oh, it's really unfortunate timing. Just happened to go supernova as we're passing it. Oh my god. See, this is where I think the animation is actually pretty cool. Even if it maybe looks slightly different with the supernova, I like it. This looks cool. I mean, I will say I like that they've only chosen to kind of do that slightly different style with certain things that feel more otherworldly, like the locations or maybe some of the animals or like the supernova a little bit. Oh! Oh, he just saved his life.
Thanks, lad.
Wow, we're really bonding. Oh no, black hole time, huh? Good job, girl, but you're not strong enough.
Nothing, one more in precisely 47.2 seconds.
Oh, they're a great team.
Of course, brilliant, Doctor. Right, that last. We get out of here.
All sails secured, Captain.
Good man. Now, release them immediately.
I love her. She looks so excited about that.
Lifelines are secured. Good and tight.
Oh, he's so good on the ship now. See, he's been put to work.
Lifelines secured, Captain.
I really hope all the lifelines really are secured. Oh my god. Thank god he secured them. Oh my god. No.
Hold on to your lifelines. Exit's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Ditto, or not Ditto, sorry, Morph. Oh, look at how he's holding him too. He really cares for Jim. Dude, that fucking guy just died, and poor Jim is gonna get blamed for it when it wasn't his fault at all.
That was absolutely, that was the most
Dish tosh.
Your astronomical advice was helpful.
Well, yes, it was. They make a good team. Oh my god, they're gonna get married.
have a lot of help to offer anatomically. Anatomically.
Oh, he's funny.
All hands accounted for, Mr. Arrow. Mr. Arrow.
I'm afraid, Mr. Arrow,
This fucking spider creature is gonna blame it on the fucking lifeline coming loose when in reality.
his lifeline was not secured.
No.
I did. I checked them all. They were secure.
swear. Oh, God, this fucking spider. He's not happy about it. They had to get rid of Arrow because he was a big tough dude. They needed to weaken the captain.
Don't you get it? I screwed up. I mean, for 2 seconds, I thought that maybe I could do something right, but...
Oh.
You listen to me, James Hawkins. You got the makings of greatness in you.
Ooh, what a line.
And when the time comes, you get the chance to really test the cut of your sails and show what you're made of. I hope I'm there.
Aw.
Catching some of the light coming off you that day.
Oh, dude, this movie is sweet. I always heard this movie was underrated, but I think it really is. It's really sweet.
No.
Oh, he's like, oh, I can't get too attached. Uh-oh, I'm supposed to stage a mutiny against you later.
Getting in too deep here, Morphy.
Oh yeah, you did that a long time ago. Uh-oh, maybe it's gonna be double mutiny. Not only a mutiny against the cat captain, but a mutiny against their pirate king, led by the spider dude. Oh.
Don't move till we got the treasure in hand.
Oh.
Say we kill him all now. I say what's this I say.
Oh, it's where he gets his heart broken.
It's that boy.
Uh-oh.
Methinks you have a soft spot for him.
Oh, and he's gonna act like he doesn't. He actually does.
You think I'd risk it all for the sake of some nose-wiping little well?
Oh.
I cozied up to that kid to keep him off our side.
Oh God, this is heartbreaking. Oh.
Oh
No. Oh no.
Playing games?
Oh no. No, you're not gonna kill him. Me too. Ooh, quick move. That was quick, dude.
We move now!
They've been ready for this. They're stoked about it.
Mr. Hawkins, defend this with your life. Morph, give me that.
Morph, how about you make yourself look like that? That would be really helpful. Ooh. Nice job, girl. She really is so awesome. No! No, Morph. I mean, it makes sense. Morph will be loyal to his owner more.
Morph, come here. Morph, bring it here.
Oh, he's confused. He was so confused. Yes. Oh, I do worry though that... No, he can't do it. He can't bring himself to shoot him. No, he can't. Yeah. I do worry that Morph disguised himself though. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's it. Hold your fire. We'll lose the match.
He just saved their lives. Oh, he didn't. Never mind. They got shot. Oh, she hurt now? No. Ah, all right. Crash landing, but they're okay. Oh God, is she okay?
That's one of my gossamer landings.
Oh no. Oh no! I knew it. I fucking knew it. Uh-oh. That's gotta be somebody else. Somebody who lives down here. What? Who is that? Is it a pirate who lives here? Like, he's got a little looking glass. Oh, it's a robot? Oh my God.
The government makes my blood come to rescue me at last. I just want to hug you and squeeze you.
Oh, he's a cookie little robot.
Don't get me started on pirates. I don't like them. I remember Captain Flint. This guy.
No way.
You knew Captain Flint? I think he suffered from mood swings. Personally, I'm not a therapist. Anyway, but you let me know when I'm right.
He also has a compass. You let me know when I'm right. He also has a compass on his chest, which could be very useful.
You found it, have you?
Oh
my
my
missing piece. My primary memory circuit.
Oh, and then he could remember, I see. We'll find it eventually.
I find old-fashioned romance so touching, don't you? How about drinks for the happy couple?
No, thank you, we don't drink. And we're not a couple.
Uh-huh. He might be soon. The way she's looking at him, she likes him.
Mr. Hawkins, stop anyone who tries to approach.
Yes, now listen to me. Stop giving orders for a few minutes.
Very forced, Doctor.
She's like, ooh, go on, tell me what... She's like, tell me what to do, Daddy. God. They're all right there. Ooh.
So what's the plan?
What the f***, dude? Ben is not chill. There's definitely gonna be people on the ship.
Fuck, this tune's on World War II. I ain't turned
The
it off.
Phobos dare to attack our veneration grounds. Make them regret it.
Bringing Ben is a risk.
Sorry.
Jesus fucking Christ, Ben. Ben, you are not chill.
Yes. Bad. Stupid robots, get us off. Killed.
Oh no. Yeah, that robot really did f*** up. But honestly, the spider guy probably would have saw you anyway. He doesn't look like he sleeps much. Oh my God. His animation movement. Oh, the pie! Yes, Morph! No fucking way. This is a nightmare. Do the cinematography. Oh, there he is.
It's gotta be Ken.
It's gravity. You know what? Oh! Oh my God. Oh God.
Do say hello to Mr.
No. Nice job, dude.
Tell him yourself.
He climbed fast. Ooh. Holy what a line. Tell him yourself. Yes! Bye-bye! Wow, that was like so anticlimactic in a way for him to go out like that, but it was so satisfying because it was the same way Arrow went out.
Wake up. I got the back.
Fine work, Jimbo.
Oh, you know what? Good effort, Morph, you sweet little pup. Oh, they don't know how to open it, huh? To be fair, Jimbo knows how to open it because he just got lucky.
Open it.
They're gonna threaten to kill the people you love if you don't open it. Yeah. She's like, no, don't do it. Did he change his answer after her? He's really sympathetic to Captain Hard. I love it. He doesn't even have to look at it.
Tie him up and leave it with the others.
You want the map? You're taking me too.
Ooh. He should have paid more attention when he was opening it. Should have watched what he did.
Let's take him out.
He just shook his head like and smiled like he was proud of Jim for doing that. It's like, ah, that was something I would have done. That's my boy. It's a portal?
So that's how Flint did. He used his portal to roam the universe, stealing treasure.
But where'd he stash it all?
Well, this isn't the answer, but this is still pretty. Oh, Jesus, this is still pretty cool though.
And the treasure is buried in the center of this planet.
God, oh my God.
And how many blue blazers are we supposed to get there?
Just open the right door.
Right. He thought about it, man. Doesn't take much to just be like just normal, smart, just a little bit smart. Oh, an alarm. He had an alarm set. I love how even in death, Flint was like, no one can have my treasure. They'll pry it from my cold dead hands. Like, what are you gonna do with it after you die, dude? I mean, I get it. He was being pursued and didn't want to give it to them. That's very valid, but
And yet it's so odd, you know? I remember there was something horrible Flint didn't want anyone else to know, but...
that's his brain. That's the robot's chip.
It's all flooding back! All my memories! Right up until Flint pulled my memory circuit so I can never tell anybody about his moving trap!
Here we go, just in time. Oh my God.
Flint wanted to make sure that nobody could ever steal his treasure.
Right, see, he died here surrounded by his treasure just to never do anything with it, just to hoard it forever. Oh, I bet Jim is gonna save him.
All my life I dreamed of an adventure like this. I'm just sorry I couldn't have been more helpful to you.
Oh.
You've been very helpful, truly.
I feel like such a useless weakling with abnormally thin wrists. Excuse me, Brutish pirate.
Brutish pirate.
I pummel you good. Yes, I'm sure you will. But before you do, I have one more question. Is this yours?
Nice job! Yes! Delbert! He's so suave now.
Ah, Jimbo.
Of course he made it on the ship, all right.
I love you, lad. But I've come too far to let you stand between me and the treasure.
Oh, wow. That's so sad. You were gonna kill him? Like, really? Ah! Well, the ship ain't making it out of here.
Jimbo!
He can't help it. Oh, he's trying to do both. He's gonna have to choose. Oh my God! He's gonna save him. Come on! Come on!
Oh, blast me for a fool!
Yay! He was just bluffing earlier. He wasn't gonna hurt him. You know what? The real treasure was the familial bonding, even though they're not really family, the bonding we had along the way and the family trauma we were healing. Nice job, Ben. Is he gonna fly on that thing?
You gotta turn around. What? There's a portal back there.
Oh, the portal. Yeah, use the portal.
I'll move that portal over onto a light.
You can change.
Yes! But I'm gonna change.
He's gonna build a little sail, a ship, like an airship, a skateboard. Oh my God.
What do you need, Jim? Just some way to attach this. Hold on. Stand right now.
Oh, he's gonna weld it. Oh, yes. Nice. There you go. More. More. Oh my God. No. Woo! He's been training his whole life for this. Dude, this movie's fucking awesome. Why does it not get any hype? Like, this is great.
Not right, not right!
They're,
I know you just let me try.
they're like an old couple already.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
He's gonna pick a random planet, but watch it. It's home. He just picked what he could grab, and it just happened to be home. That's destiny, man. Really, everything does come naturally to him. Aww.
I met this old cyborg, and he taught me that I could chart my own course. That's what I'm gonna do.
And what do you see of that bow window?
The future.
No.
Look at you, glowing like a solar fire. You're something special, Jim. You're going to rattle the stars, you are.
Oh my God. This is so sweet.
Lovely. I got a job for you. I need you to keep an eye.
No, he's gonna let Morph stay with him because he knows Morph will miss him.
Will you do me that for favor?
Oh my God, he's crying. He's like, I'm saying goodbye to my best friend and this kid that's like my son. They really healed so quick once he saved his life.
Hey, mother.
Oh!
Rebuild that dinner of ours.
That's pretty great. He stole some treasure. He's like, I made off with some of it. Oh, he's helping with the inn. Dude, his mom looks like a Disney princess, honestly. What about the captain and Dilbert? Are they gonna get married? Ben works here now. Oh my God, it's great. Oh my God, dude. Oh, and he's in the Naval Academy. Now we're not arresting him anymore. Aw. Doing a little Irish dancing. I love a little like Celtic Irish vibe for everything. The babies. They had 4 at once. Oh, he sees him in the clouds. It's cute. Dude, the music. Some of this music is just so early 2000s. It's so fun. This movie was so sweet and comforting and definitely exactly what I needed at this point. Oh my God, dude! What? It had really sweet themes when it came to like daddy issues and emotional trauma, but it was explored in a really heartfelt and sweet way. It didn't drag on too long. It was really fun to watch. The music was fun. A lot of the artwork was fun, and it was just a really sweet story. And I know it has a lot of source material to go off of when it's based off of a book like Treasure Island, but I haven't read that book. So to me, it was just nice to experience a story like this. I think it was really heartwarming. So with all that being said, let's get into my rating. When I rate movies, I look at 4 categories: 1, sound design; 2, production value; 3, acting; and 4, story. When it comes to the sound design, I think it was really solid. I think usually that's the case in animated movies because I feel like the sound it's always really important, because if the sound design is bad or there's a lot of poor quality audio, that is really one of the first things that a viewer notices, and it can be really off-putting. But I feel like in an animated movie, somehow the sound design is even more important because it's what's bringing the character to life in a way, and some of that ties into acting, of course, but you just want the sound design to be really solid. You want the music to fit really well in the world. And also typically because a lot of the voice acting, it's all filmed in studio, the sound quality is really even, whereas in like a live action film, if they have to do something in post in ADR, it has an opportunity to be a different type of audio quality than it was when they were recording on set. So usually the sound quality you get is really top notch, and I did like a lot of the songs in this movie. Definitely was of a time with the more, pop rock, angsty style songs. They felt very early 2000s, but that is so nostalgic to me, so I enjoyed it a lot. I also feel like it fits the character of Jim really well, given what he's going through. And I really enjoyed a lot of the Celtic music and the Irish style of things. It just felt like it kind of fit that wild exploration vibe really well. So I would give the sound design a 10 out of 10. Next is the production value, and I think, all in all, I think the production value is pretty solid. I will say, because of the difference in animation styles between some of the locations or some of the creatures versus the characters, sometimes it felt a little jarring, but other times it looked really cool. There were moments where I feel like it really worked, especially when things were exploding or with the supernova star, and then there were moments where it just felt a little more jarring to me. I could maybe see how some people maybe wouldn't be as fond of the character design if they were kids when they watched this movie, or at least from the perspective of a girl. I think I maybe wouldn't have been a fan of a lot of the character design as a child, but as an adult, I think it was great. It's definitely very similar to Atlantis, and they were made around the same time, so that makes sense. And the movies are both very similar as well. I actually really enjoyed the character design for Jim in particular, although the little rat tail braid I maybe could have done without, but I kind of like the idea of him having a braid. I just wish it wasn't a rat tail. All in all, though, I think the production value is pretty solid, so I would give it an 8 out of 10. Next is the acting, and I think all of the actors honestly killed it. They did a great job with the casting for this movie. Everybody fit their characters characters really perfectly. Characters like Martin Short were just amazing as Ben. Just so funny. His character was so obnoxious in so many ways, but his lines were hilarious. And I think with the wrong actor, it just would have maybe read as obnoxious and not funny, but his delivery was so solid that it worked. And it also came at a point in the movie where like we were going through a much darker point. You can maybe argue that that was like a character's dark night of the soul because he thought he had this bonding fatherly figure with Silver and his whole world has just come crumbling down again, and as he realized that's maybe not true. So to have a character like Ben come in at that point, I think is great, and Martin Short killed it with that. And I just think the rest of the cast did a really solid job. So I don't really have any complaints in that regard, and I would give it a 10 out of 10 there too. And then last but not least is the story, and I think the story is really sweet. It is super short, not a very long movie, but it doesn't need to be. It really gets the points across very quickly. I think you could argue that like some things maybe happen a little effortlessly for Jin as a protagonist. Like there were multiple things that just kind of happened to him really easily, like figuring out how to open the map, figuring out to put the map in the ground. Like there were a lot of moments where things just came really effortlessly to him, but at the same time I think that's okay in an animated Disney movie because sometimes you just want to keep things going and keep the pace quick. But if I was being really nitpicky, I'd maybe make it a little bit more difficult in certain moments. I don't necessarily think him getting the map right away was a bad thing because it was funny, and I don't necessarily think that you have to change those things for the story because I think the story was pretty solid. I really love the themes of fatherhood and guidance and healing and discovering the person you really want to be versus maybe what your ego would have wanted and healing old wounds. I think a lot of the stuff that was explored in the story is really, really sweet. And there's just a lot of fun characters with great dialogue, secondary characters that are really enjoyable to watch, like Gilbert and Amelia, the cat captain. I already forgot her name, I just keep calling her the cat captain. So all that being said, I would give the story a 9 out of 10. So that leaves me with a score of 37 out of 40, which is definitely a good score, and I enjoyed this movie a lot. It was so much fun, so heartwarming and sweet. After watching it, I'm pretty sure I actually hadn't seen it before. Maybe I saw a trailer as a kid, that might have been a possibility, but a lot of this just did not ring a bell at all. So I'm so glad I checked it out finally, and I do think it was underrated. I really enjoyed it a lot. I think if I was going to compare this with Atlantis, which you don't really have to do, but just because the character design styles are very similar and the animation feels similar, my brain kind of wants to compare them. I think I prefer this over Atlantis. I just like the themes that were explored in it more, and Atlantis kind of gave me like White Savior vibes a little bit, even though it was really enjoyable and the artwork was really cool. I really enjoyed this one a lot. It was really sweet. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this movie with me, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up so I know and I can check out more things like this in the future with all of y'all. Of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below as well as anything else you might like me to check out next, and subscribe if you want to. Till the next one, stay golden. Bye.
Hello, darling. Welcome back. Today we are checking out the Goons again, specifically Blarg, who is basically my twin. I mean, we could be the same person. Think about it. Have me and Blarg ever been in the same room at the same time? I'm just saying. This is a video by the amazing Simpapi Rick. This is Blarg Arab Moments. I think I'm ready. I'm probably not ready. If you guys are new here, please do consider subscribing. It would really help me out a lot, and I would very much appreciate it. Thank you. Are you guys ready?
Ow.
Let's go!
What the hell just tried to fly into me?
Oh no.
It sounded like a big robotic bee. South Tower be like.
Dude, oh, that's such like the perfect setup for him. How are you gonna hand him that fucking joke, dude?
That's fun. I'm not gonna say that, Blarg. How we're gonna lose. We left this up to Matt.
Oh no. Oh no.
Can the air pipe grenade not blow himself up?
No, that's so valid though. Come on now.
You actually just fucking. You're literally the worst suicide bomber I've ever seen. John, there, dude, it's fine. You're supposed to take out people with you.
Look, 9/11.
Oh. No. No, the fucking sounds. That's.
Fucking airplanes. Oh my god, Allahu Akbar. People get really scared when I pull them back inside.
Dude.
He's not too good at the airport. Open the front door yourself.
Oh my days.
Don't get a treat.
No, dude.
Sorry, he's not wearing a vest. He gets scared on flight.
The table stand.
I'm gonna go up to the TSA agent who's brown, and I'm asking him, hey man, you're brown, I'm brown. Let's bring this plane down. Jesus.
So, you undercover too, huh?
That's crazy. Nah.
Underrepresented. There's not one Arab character. We got the Russians. There's no Allahu Akbars. We got the fucking.
They're a terrorist hunt, bro. You gotta go to terrorist
Oh my days.
Behave. Behave is a replacement word for bitch. Eastern culture.
Oh, you also sand person?
Sand person.
What part of the dunes you from, brother?
Fucking dudes. Okay, alright.
Some of the conversations I have with my friends are about penises, so I feel like there's a bit of a problem there.
Is that just a guy thing? Is that just guy conversation?
Every Rainbow Six video I've uploaded has at least half of the video consisting of nutting or dicks.
Whoa!
Arab jokes. It's so fucking much, dude. There's some black jokes here and there, like, yeah, what's good? Like, you know, but that's not that bad.
I hate when I'm sucking my Arab boyfriend's cock and I get sand in my mouth.
Whoa! You need to have a talk with him, dude. He's not he's not keeping up with that. That's crazy though.
What? I just thought I'd mix everything in, so we got every joke out of the way. Well, boys, if we ever see any towers or something, we can move on to Arab jokes. You know, we already took most of those down. So.
Oh my god! Oh no!
It's a hostage map. It's on plane. It's pink.
No, Grizzy. So
We're protecting
imagine
you, Grizzy. You'll see.
Okay, Grizzy. Imagine 9/11 but gay.
Okay, got it.
Cometh and bombeth.
No, whoa. Yeah?
That is a mighty fine spell.
He wrote as a joke in like a history book, and all these kids are learning.
You know, the next fucking Harry Potter film.
Oh God!
Edition cometh in my hummet. I'll have you know, I ate a bowl of sand earlier, so that makes me Arab.
No.
Is that mandatory? Is that? Did you have to do that?
No, that just makes you.
Whoa!
It's like the same thing, right? Yeah, my
so
favorite
fucked.
is when one of my 7 wives, they give me a hijabi.
Really? Really?
Hijabi.
Boo!
I went to Cuba with a white family, right? Anyway, when we were going through the airport security, they all went through fine, and then suddenly the Arab guy gets picked for random selection.
No.
And they swabbed me. They put a little machine on me and started swabbing me for drugs. I was like,
Dude, I've been swabbed. I don't remember if they did my hands or whatnot, but they did my carry-on. They like swabbed my carry-on and like opened it up and everything. And obviously I didn't have anything, but it was, I don't know why. Like it was just so random. And they had like the dog there. So I don't know what was, like I was around where the dog thought that there was something. Obviously, like I said, they didn't find anything, but it was so like, I was confused. I was like, what do I do? what did I do? You know?
it's like, you're not gonna find drugs. You might find my bomb. You know?
Whoa!
That was...
Fucking idiot.
I love going into Tilted Towers. Look at this shit already. Remember my name.
Don't worry, dude. I'll have my homie Ahmed fly into half of these. We'll take him out.
Dude.
Eligible.
Sounds like a fucking airplane company, Air Jababe.
Yo, are you choosing that over Spirit Airlines? Be honest.
I would not trust.
Would not trust that fucking airline.
Why?
New York City.
Oh, maybe that's why.
There are no round trips with Air Bobby.
Dude.
I thought more Discord funny moments and actual Siege funny moments.
Yeah, I know. I just like having Siege in the background so I can put it in the title.
Fair. Fair.
Gamers, by the way.
Sit there playing Terrorist Hunt. When I play hide and go seek with my cousins.
What?
Oh no! No, Terrorist Hunt, you dumbass! Oh.
That flew right over your head, Aaron.
I wonder if I can make Rook default dance. I mean,
make Rook default dance?
Not Rook. Sorry, Kaid default dance.
I don't know.
I think he's too old for that. His bones can't handle it.
When his hands collide, they explode.
Oh.
Like Thanos snap around him.
Dude.
Thank you.
I don't feel so good.
I actually used to be part of a program called Bikes Not Bombs.
Crazy, because Jay, I was on the other side. I was on Bombs Not Bikes.
Oh my god.
or no, were you better on Bombs on Bikes? Is that yours?
God, I love being Arab. Pretty hot in this airport. I'm gonna take my vest off.
Oh my days.
My head is about to explode.
I am very thirsty. Are there any Alwat bars around here?
Oh my god.
That was actually really clever.
It's a little bit of a stretch, but it's good.
Bring his goat to the airport.
Why?
There's a bomb in it.
What? Pardon?
Dude, every suicide bombing mission I've done has been not that great because I'm still alive, but...
No, that's crazy. No. Oh no. Wait, wouldn't that be like a silver lining? Like, is it really a loss? You know? Because then you get to do it over and over again. Like, I feel like that's a win, totally, right?
But they need somebody to teach the class, right?
What?
What was that?
That's so distorted.
Talking.
What?
Y'all are going to Arab hell. I don't know
What?
what it's called.
7-Eleven.
Oh no, accurate.
Once Neil started doing the fucking thing, I fucking shit my pants. I thought we were about to blow up.
Oh no.
I thought everything in a 2-kilometer fucking radius.
No, that's crazy.
Like every single guy at the wedding just opens his suit up to a fucking.
Oh man.
You see me haul ass out the fucking
grabs like 7 chicken wings and runs.
Yeah, you need a snack as you're running for your life. That's a mood.
You know what they say, dude? Fucking. My name is Osama.
Oh?
My name
My name Bin Laden.
Oh my god.
Terrorist propaganda videos with that.
Oh my days.
Hello, America. My name is Osama, America. Hello, how are you?
My name is Osama. He was technically a content creator. He made little terroristy videos.
Dude, wait a minute. Are we actually classifying him that way? Hold on, pause. I don't know about it.
You think he got any sponsorship deals?
Oh my god!
Hello, my friends. Before we get into today's terrorist threat, today's video is sponsored.
SeatGeek is an app that.
Oh my god!
Today's video is sponsored by Bomb Detonator 5000. It's the newest bomb detonator on the market. The handle is very nice and sleek, you know.
Oh
it fits
my
in your pocket.
god!
And now I'm doing a demonstration. Here are 2 towers.
Hold on.
I can't play.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh my god.
That's so fucked, guys.
Bro, you know the worst part is his fucking CPM probably be higher than mine.
Dude, no, that's crazy.
Upside down question marks, crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Bro, do I look like I know fucking Spanish?
You honestly know shit.
A little noise enough, you're gonna attract someone you don't want. Somebody's gonna burst through your window with a fucking grenade in their hand.
Whoa.
Brother!
Whoa!
See, this is what we call an Arab calculator.
Why do you call it a calculator?
Whoa.
I don't know. Fuck that.
Dude, that fucking 180? Nah.
Like, you're fucking redneck Muslim, dude.
Wait. Why does that kind of fit? Why is that hella accurate?
What's that mean?
It means you got a Confederate flag turban.
Nah.
Wow. I drive a lifted camel. I drive a lifted camel.
Dude, can I even picture a fucking lifted camel? That's so weird. No, dude. My brain knows it's wrong.
That's fantastic.
Literally 2 names. She's currently making dinner and it's just being milked.
What?
Battle Pass is a guy in a plane saying, "Call me Harry." I feel like this is turning into a porno.
Whoa, what?
Or a national tragedy.
Oh my days, no. We brought it back.
Okay. I hit on here. That's
The real story behind 9/11.
Nah.